Ladies and gents, welcome to the EGL Open Series week number 10. My name is Tun, and this week joined by Fru. But Fru, it's the final one. This is it until the finals, mate. How excited are we to see how it's going to close out in regular season?
Yeah, very excited. As you said, we finally got here. It seems like we've been doing these for months and months and months now, but just 1 week away from the finals. Yeah, I'm excited to see what the best European teams can do.
Yeah, very excited. My missus is really looking forward to having me on the sofa on Sunday nights very, very shortly. But we have, of course, got the finals next week as well. Let's have a look at the bracket to see how things are broken down in week number 10, though, so far. A couple of potential ones that are worth looking at, of course. I know that Breakers team, as far as I'm aware, did drop out. Team Xenix against UDog.
Yeah.
That's a really
interesting one. I don't know what the actual score was, but I know that UDog on the other side are a good team. Saitama, one of, if not the best up-and-comer right now, in my opinion. He's a fantastic player. Toomey, brutal, Blade, obviously put up a performance against Breaker's team there. I would have expected UDog to go through on that one, just on kind of history alone. So good to see that UDog have managed to perform that upset, and we get to see them against PhantomT shortly. The other match that I'd like to kind of call out as an upset, in my opinion, I think, is Broadbeans versus Brochettes. That was in the first round, but that was Slazin going out in the very first round. So that's kind of an interesting one for me.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Slazin, have we? Everybody else from that former Rated R squad, obviously looking good on the highly rated side of things. They'll be wanting to get revenge, obviously, this week, after last week, not necessarily going their way in the grand finals. And I'm interested to see if they can turn things around again. But it was an interesting week last week. If you wanted to be, have your little casting comeback at any point, last week was the time to do it. My goodness me, highly rated. We very much expected them to continue their dominance, but Crimson's going over towards that side of things now on EXES Esport, alongside the ex-Maradona boys, now EXES as mentioned.
Yep.
It has made an interesting little rivalry heading into the last week and, of course, into the finals the week after. So interested to see if that is going to be our final again. I'd be very shocked if it isn't, but at the same time, I was quite surprised to see that highly rated lost last week.
Yeah, me too. I mean, highly rated. They've looked dominant, right? They've looked like the team that everyone is kind of gunning to be. I mean, they are that team. So super interesting to see that they lost a final. And you know what? I like it. I like that we've got a bit of rivalry up at the top. We said it before in the Pro League, and it's good to see that top team lose. I know it's not good if you're on that top team, but for everyone else, it's a sign of hope, especially so close to the finals.
Yeah, it couldn't have come at a better time for these other teams, realistically. And maybe we'll see something interesting come the finals. Maybe we'll see something interesting tonight. It could be a case of putting the time in, and potentially something's going to work out for Team X's. But you never know. But we've got 24 of you this week in the tournament, of course. So that's a decent little number. We were having the conversation with Elliot again. He was telling me last time that Valentine's Day was going to do the numbers in. This time he was like, "Oh, Mother's Day, boys. You're not going to get any." But Mother's Day is like. Right. Okay. Look, from my point of view, anyway. Obviously, we can't see your mothers at this point, but it's like a couple of hours. That's all it is. It's not your full day. Elliot thinks I'm booking out full day account. It's not like I can take her for dinner in a minute, is it?
That's very true. It's very true. I mean, worst case, she could tune into the stream and watch us on here. So you know what? There's ways around it, isn't there? They can play the game.
Yeah, exactly. I get your point exactly. Now. Yeah. But we have the teams. Thank you very much to everybody who has signed up. Of course, for the finals next week, make sure you are signing up for that one. We will be covering the Sunday of things, of course. So as Saturday will be a long one, but we'll be jumping in for the final games on the Sunday, or for the whole day on the Sunday, I should mention. So make sure you do keep an eye out for any broadcast details for that one, which will be coming out this week, I hope. But yeah, very excited to get to the finals, but we do have some business to take care of this week, of course, in week number 10. And in the first game, we do actually have an interesting one. It is going to be UDog versus PhantomT. You said you wanted to see UDog. You expected them to win that game previously. Let's see how they do in this one.
Yeah, I think it's been a good matchup, to be honest with you. I think on the other side, PhantomT, this is the Vision squad, right? Warrior Guns, Ricardo, Astrals. We've seen these guys play over and over again. We know what they're about. We know that they're a top team. This is going to be UDog's real first attempt at breaching that top 8, hitting that semi-final, and maybe even making their way towards the grand final. Let's see what they can do here. On board with Saitama. Going to be cleaned up here pretty quickly there, as Astrals is finding that opening frag.
Yep, bit of a litmus test here for UDog to see what they can get going. Toomey, of course, we see, if I'm correct, we've seen him on the Maradona squad for a week. Unfortunately,
Just a week.
Crimson's, yeah, just a week. Unfortunately, Crimson's looked like he was looking for another team. So at that point, many people would be stepping aside, in fairness. And, well, you look what it resulted with a win, of course, in their first week together for that new squad. And we'll be interested to see how they do as this week goes on. But this moment in time, it looks like UDog about to try and get some control pushed forward from inside Tarmac. Can he find the second kill? Not quite. Will fall. So PhantomT just about hold on here for it.
Yeah, just about. I mean, they're doing the right things, right? They've got the point lead. They didn't really need to rush that B fight. They've got to come back home and sort out what's going on over here, though, because they are losing their home side setup. Good back A coming through from Ricardo. Vision gets to me as well, and this is going to be a 3v2 on the map for a short moment. But over towards that B hill, there is going to be a little bit of a 2v1. I think that's where the next attempt's going to come through from UDog.
Yeah, looking that way, it's going to be coming in towards B. Not going to happen. A. He's being hit up by Phantom now. Can't quite get it. Have they not fixed that yet? Have they fixed the domination sound yet?
Not to my knowledge.
Bloody hell. We need to fix that before next week, bro. It was sending me sideways last week.
Yeah, it's difficult, especially when you're playing as well. It's even more difficult. You know, there's so much to keep track of, and just that sound that you would normally kind of associate with, you know, a domination ticking through. Yeah, winning. Anything, really. Hills getting decapped. Everything is kind of difficult. Good little pinch here coming through from Blade. That should be a free kill. Saitama gets taken out on the opposite side, though, and then this is 3v3 for a few seconds here. Getting a little bit tight for UDog. They need to start getting a little bit more control over on the B side of things. Vision, though, secret man, we like to call it, as he's going to get that kill for free there on Blade. Now he moves over towards the B hill. Bit of defense coming in here on the side of PhantomT. As you can see, they're starting to make the aggressive play up onto the wide track here. Toomey takes a full shot to the face here, and on the opposite side, his teammate has fallen as well. 2 down from UDog. Can Toomey do anything about it? A little bit scrappy here, but Vision will clean him up, and this looks like a very good round for PhantomT. If they can just get a couple more kills, they should be able to lock in a domination.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Don't hear the sound again this week, as mentioned, but still, it goes in nonetheless. And that's quite a long round of Asylum to kick things off. Usually round number 1 is it's quite quick, or it can be, but 2 minutes and 51 seconds is what it took, and PhantomT do take the lead. I'd imagine no silly drops to come in towards the beginning of this game specifically anyway, with, of course, it being so close. Although...
What were you saying?
That's different.
What were you saying? No silly drops. I mean, there is a drop, and it's right in the middle. This is not usually a position you see this placed in, and this looks like something that perhaps has been practiced before, because usually you see that drop shot up top on the bridge side, and that's kind of like the standardized big fight on this map. So to see this now in the middle, kind of interesting to see what both teams will do here. Definitely a kind of a pre-established strat here coming through from UDog. You see they got into that middle very, very quickly, abused those front spawns, and they've managed to get that drop shot off now. And now they're going to collapse in. No one has got B yet, though. This is a difficulty that they've got to kind of think about here. They're going to try and clean some kills up and try and just get the stagger going. And I think that second drop shot perhaps should have been held, and then you can use that to get the second stagger on the go. But they've got the B hill. They're going to take that in, and in a couple of seconds, the domination will come through. They've done really well there, UDog, and I like that from them. Really like that from them.
I'm so confused. What? I've never seen a drop there. Never. I mean, I presume you have, obviously, in scrims and whatnot, possibly, but I mean...
Yes, yeah. It's an interesting one, because it means that no matter really where you build on these side kind of placements, you're always building up for something that can be useful in that fight down there, whereas when you put the drop up top, you know, there's that short delay where you've got to go down to your left, grab your utility, bring it back up. This is a much more kind of head down strat. This is much more spreading your team across the whole map as well, right? Because you've got to kind of put people on both sides of this drop shot in order to get full control. And it just means that those big team fights don't happen as much.
Vision is going to get through the quick revive. We'll keep him up. Over the top. Nice drop shot. Brutal going to go down. Saitama now making the push as well, but the bodyguard is here. Is it going to be enough, though, as Vision is going to fall from behind? And, well, for PhantomT, they very much do not get to use the drop shot as effectively as UDog managed to in the previous round. Good shots by Blade as well. Close that one out. B now potentially in the offing here, as C is now being captured by UDog, and they're looking to try and get this round done very, very quickly. Warrior Guns now having to make the push. Job going to come through. B now in their hands, but they do lose C, but nonetheless they get control. And PhantomT just not able to necessarily work it out as easily as UDog did in the previous round.
No, it's not quite as dominating, but I mean that kind of comes from seeing that first round, right, and understanding. Okay, well, when we pushed forward and we used this offensively, this is how we got those kills, and you can kind of retroactively use that on the defense as well, understanding how the other team will try and break you down. Good cross coming through from Brutal there. Jumping down to the track side. Bit of a scrap going on here. One down coming through. Vision will go down. He will die, actually, and Ricardo getting cleaned up. Double kill coming through from Saitama there, and domination denied for just a second here as Brutal and Toomey, they try and close down on Astrals. Revive's going to come through. Flashbang's going to come through as well, Tunners. This fight continues, but it's looking like a domination for UDog, and thought it was a good round for PhantomT at the start. UDog turn it around.
That is a big turnaround. It's just the fact that the drop shot got pulled out. But as mentioned, PhantomT just couldn't really do too much with it. Obviously, this strat maybe not necessarily something that they're as prepared for, which is maybe why UDog put it down, but it does make Asylum a little bit different. Used to just put it up entrance, tuck up a shot grenades around, how many kills we get, go from there. There wasn't really too much theory to it, I suppose. But putting it down in the middle, and it mixes things up a little bit. As you mentioned, there's two ways in. Where do they cover? How many people do they send to certain points to cover? I mean, Lippy is going to be able to get a hold of that straight away. Oh, doesn't connect with it, but will connect with his Nasher. Let's quick switch. Oh, he's maybe put himself in the spot there. Oh, he's going to drop as well. That's a little bit silly.
It is. That's
PhantomT very well set up there.
And you have to kind of look at this. What have you gained from this? Not really too much on this time around. First kill came through, is good for UDog, but just not able to get Blade out of that bad spot. And now they're in a bit of a world of pain, as we say. UDog falling here. Saitama will go down. Vision will get the B hill, and over on the C side, it's a 2v2. Soon to be a 3v2, actually, in UDog's favor. If they can just get the few kills in, they should be all right. They should hold on here.
Team will hold on to A and B now. Brutal making his way around towards the tracks. It kind of just resets the round a little bit.
Oh, that's not the gun you want.
That's the wrong weapon. Brutal managed to survive. Fortunately,
good reaction.
Saitama
Good reaction from the team.
Yeah, oh, nice from Saitama. Really well played. Oh, can he find another here on the Warrior Guns? It's a good spread, and the rest of the team are here to help out. Knife into his teammate just for good measure as well, and there you go. UDog kept showing a hold of beat fairly quickly. I have a feeling we're in for a long week this week. I don't know why. The past couple have flown over. We've been done by like 8:30, 9 p.m. I'm envisaging 10 p.m. 10 p.m. tonight.
We're gonna go all the way in the finals. All the best of threes going all the way. I mean, I'm all for it. The week before the finals, that's really what you want. You want competition to be as close as it possibly can be. And you know, we've seen team changes. We've seen new strats being brought out, obviously, right now as they're kind of. Oh, Toomey, that's disgusting. As it wasn't Toomey's down. Was it Toomey's down? I don't think it was. Yeah, as we see, teams kind of just really at the at the end of their preparation. That's all it's about right now.
In limbo at the moment. Saitama with the down off spawn. He's in a bit of a difficult spot. His team are going to get a hold of the drop shot though, and that's maybe going to make things a little bit easier, but he is going to go down. Brutal not in the best of spots either. That drop shot, who does it belong to? Well, it did belong to Blade, but he falls down, so that one's out the window all of a sudden. PhantomT, we potentially have a chance to get a hold of something here. It's a push over towards C. Vision could do with winning that fight. Nicely done. Going to be plenty of reinforcements coming in from UDog though, but the decap comes through nonetheless. PhantomT, it's their round to lose, it feels. Up
Good
top.
play. Yeah, I'm liking this from PhantomT. They were just delaying on this home hill so much there. You saw at the start, Vision just getting in, getting those touches. They knew that there was going to be some pressure on here from UDog. Secret Man was waiting up top. There was a second one as well near the A hill as well. Really good play from PhantomT. UDog had 2 drop shots that round, and they just were not able to use them at all. PhantomT nullifying that threat. Making it about positioning, really, rather than those big team fights. Got to give it to Vision as well. Looking at that, there 16 kills already, 4 rounds in. Doing a lot of work for his team, finding some big kills. Boltok's going down now at the top right. This shouldn't change things too much. Obviously, E-Hill will spawn up at the top side on the entrance. Incendiaries, that will change things maybe a little bit now, as the Incendiaries are matched on the bottom side.
Let's see how these affect this middle fight, at least. It's very different. I'm trying to figure out where the pressure is really coming from here from PhantomT, because it just seems as if UDog would be the first ones in. That incend through, though, trying to slow it down, and we'll just cover the drop shot ever so slightly. Incend this way. Well, in hindsight, wasted, but nonetheless. They will get a hold of the kill here if you're PhantomT. You're going to have to back on down here, though. Now the pressure falls through. Brutal can find one before he's traded out. Astrals, though, you got a hold of the drop shot as the package. Can he find the kill? Not quite now. Blade in a bad spot, but he will find the kill eventually. Astrals now making this push for the domination. It starts to tick through here as well, but he is all alone. Nicely done on the Saitama, though, and the rest of the team now coming through. Toomey will be weak. Astrals lining them up. Flashed up for a second. Brutal is there to fall as well. It's all Astrals at the moment. 3 seconds until the domination ticks on through. He's got out of the hill.
Oh,
Vision is there.
You got to say all of that just for your kill streak to be ruined by your own teammate. Oh, Vision's not letting him have any of the limelight. As
was it Visions that killed him?
It was Visions that killed him. Actually, Astrals managed to get that kill on the wrap shot, and then Vision ended up killing him. But it is what it is. You know, PhantomT, they've gotten a lot of points off that. That's a unfortunate move there coming through. Brutal does find that kill pretty easily, though. Now this is, you got to worry here a little bit if you're PhantomT. You were in such a good position, and one slight misstep, one slight mistake here has put you on the back foot. You've got a lot of points to play with, but kills are going the way of UDog. Left, right, and center. Saitama picking up another here. And this should be a flood all the way over to the airfield. I like what Brutal's doing here. He's just making sure that no one sneaks in behind them and gets towards the neutral. And this really should be a UDog round if they're able to push it. They need to clean up Ricardo quickly. They've done just that. Vision's off spawn here. Toomey's going to get the kill there, though. And now it's that man again, Astrals. Can he do anything about it? Not at all. And from what looked to be a fantastic round for PhantomT, UDog have stole it completely off the back of one small team kill. Who'd have thought it?
It's painful, isn't it? Astralos will be furious. That one. When he got off, I wasn't too sure if his teammate was there, in fairness, but still, that was a second away from being locked in. Boltok going to go downside of UDog. Just building towards that utility, which PhantomT are just that little bit closer to getting a hold of. Into round number 6. Drop shot obviously still in the middle if anybody did miss that. What's the call out specifically for this area? Middle.
People call it cave. I mean, pavilion.
Cave?
There's a lot of different names for it. Cave's usually the quickest.
Yeah.
It's not really a cave, but,
cave,
it's the enclosed bit in the middle with difficult entrances, right?
Arches or something? I don't know. Anyway. Brutal. Oh, that's a kill you could have potentially find.
Yep.
Oregon's going to go down. Nevertheless, UDog still in control of this round by the looks of things here through. And the drop shot was left on the floor. Will be recovered by Saitama now. Push going to come through. If he can survive this, that would be fantastic for his team. But very, very well played from Phantom. They knew he was there. They knew he was picking up that old drop and made sure they got rid of him.
Big fight happening upstairs now. Toomey just gets some damage down, but his teammate's gone down. And it's going to put a lot of pressure on UDog here as actually Vision flies through. Flashbangs are plenty for PhantomT as they start to put a bit of pressure on now. Looking for some kills. They might go towards the hills instead. As Vision, he spies what could be a potential secret little domination here. No audio, as remember, the team have got to notice this. They have noticed it, and they are able to come back and save their home hill just for a second here. But there is still a fight going down. Saitama's going to end that one. Ricardo will be back to the respawn queue, and I like the attempt there, especially with, you know, the audio glitch that's in at the moment, and it's very, very difficult to notice something like that's going on unless you're keeping a real, you know, beady eye on it.
Yeah, I was going to ask the question. You know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I ever scrimmed in case of War yourself. Obviously, playing each week is that really becoming a factor? I was curious if from the player end, you know, the domination not showing up, or at least the sound cue not coming through.
It's definitely a factor.
Has it played? Yeah.
Teams have been opting slightly more to go for those kind of overextension plays and those just sneaky little cut-through plays, because, you know, like sometimes you'd look for the flank. That's lovely from Vision. And sometimes you'd look for the flank up top, but this time, you know, sometimes teams manage to sneak through the middle and just try the home hill decap instead, and you know, teams that aren't quite aware will fall prey to it. Definitely so.
Vision now could have stepped forward for F, but chose to go for the drop shot. So on win condition of 10, and Vision fantastically done. Just waited for them, line them up. I mean, his teammate may have faulted that one, but it will not matter. 5 seconds, and this round is done. 3 PCF through, and we honestly cannot separate these two. Very, very close, back and forth yet. 3 rounds each after 6.
I'm really impressed, actually, with PhantomT, just how well they've adapted to that drop shot in the middle. I think that was, you know, that would have thrown some of the weaker teams off guard quite heavily. But PhantomT, they seem to be okay with it. You know, they've not been caught out by too many, you know, big drop shots, let's say. Like that double kill coming through there from PhantomT was probably the best one we've seen so far. And although Blade has had that drop shot probably 5 times now, I can't really think back to a play that I've thought, you know what, that was a really impactful play with it. Perhaps that one round where they cleaned out a domination, the first round they placed it down. Apart from that, drop shots really been nullified, and UDog haven't been able to make it happen. Good work by PhantomT.
Shots by Vision again, carrying on where he left off. But it was train tracks, the fights are won. The fights are won well across the board. PhantomT now looking to continue things off. Astrals from down low, and that's the thing. With the drop shot low, you really can't sort of judge where it's going to be coming from. There's another one in. Saitama, he isn't going to have enough spawn protection to stop him there, and oh my goodness me, Astrals. It's another round for PhantomT, 4-3 now. And you very well could argue that they were very close to closing out round number 5 specifically as well. This one could have been done, but still PhantomT only 1 round away. The coffee's kicking in through, don't worry, I'm here now. A tiring day. I know I was tired. Slow. Well, because we were chilling before. What was it I said before? I was trying to concentrate on something, and I was trying to speak at the same time.
It was just jumble, honestly. I don't know what it was. It was then. It wasn't now, so don't worry about it. Locked in sense coming through. Not really going to change things too much, to be honest with you, on this. I think both teams are playing for this right hand. If you watch the minimap as we go into this round, you probably shall see quite a lot going down to the bottom side for PhantomT, and actually this time around they've opted for a 2-2, so UDog mixing things up, not going for that early push through. Trying to get that quick down here on Vision. Vision in a rough spot, but his teammates are in tow. UDogs are a bit slow. Drop shot's going to come out. Saitama's going to die here. Brutal. Potentially the last surviving member of his team. Toomey, though, keeping his life up top, has done well. No, to say that it is a lie. Toomey's going to fall as well, and PhantomT, they are on that home hill. We might have our first map almost under the books here, as look at the Lancer Fire coming out.
Doing well, Warrior Guns with some good shots. Saitama will just about get rid of him in the corner, and sort of went under the cover there a little bit. Drop shot coming through, not finding anything. Saitama will eventually drop, though. The pressure still here from Phantom. Can they get it done? Toomey going to drop as well. Need to get rid of him off the respawn. They are going to be there in time. Blade makes it in. Will he survive, though? Looking unlikely. He drops now. Brutal. The next lamb to the slaughter potentially here.
Needs a touch.
He hasn't went for the touch at all. Saitama is going to get in, though. Gets the give by... Oh my goodness! Saitama, what is that?
I told you he was good. I told you he was good, and this is what that man can do. Looking for his quad now as well. He's going to get the quad. He's putting the pressure on PhantomT. He does not want to lose this map, Chris. He does not want to lose at all.
That is ridiculous. And all of a sudden this round is... Oh, I mean, what is going on?
Someone stop him. Someone stop him. We can't have him coming into the tournaments like this. 10 weeks from unknown to superstar. Fantastic play so far from Saitama.
His shotgun's doing more damage there. I mean, they have turned that round as well. Oh my god. That is wild. As far as clutching up on gears, I've never seen such a turnaround in a round literally from one player. That is incredible.
That is something. That is something else. I hope someone clipped that for him because he's going to want to watch that one back. That was insane. That really was something incredible. Marks is going down. It's not going to matter. Someone needs to shut down Saitama. They were on the brink of losing as well. 5-3. That was the score that we were predicting coming through there. That end was a second off. Brutal didn't get the touch, but Saitama got more than one. Let's see what he can do this round, though, as we go in. He's got that flashbang. He's first man in. PhantomT. They're not even going to fight him. They're sitting down. They're lancering. They're letting him have that cave for free.
Blade's going to find two here. Oh, feels like Phantom's heads are going to be in the bin after that one. I mean, it was literally... It was done. It was completely done. Blade now going to get a hold of the drop as well. Perfect start for UDog. There's one sent up top, and Ricardo falls after finding Toomey, thankfully. It's maybe a little bit harder for UDog to get a hold of something here, but Blade getting a lot of bullets here. Is he going to be able to finish on Warrior Guns? Not quite. They'll drop him. Now Phantom have a chance to get a control of E here.
Good play by Warrior there. Good, solid defensive play. Had to get that kill. Big kill coming through. Toomey's going to fall as well. And once again, I have to say it, UDog, they get that drop shot, but they do nothing with it, really. Now we're going to look towards the D hill, Chris. All that hard work from Saitama. Can he do it again? That's the question. This time he's going for the revive, but it's not going to come through. PhantomT, against the odds, against the drop shot, and against Saitama's fantastic clutch attempts, are able to come through and 5-4 the first map. We're not done yet, though. It is a best of 3, don't forget.
It is. PhantomT will get the game, but that one will be very much remembered for what Saitama just did to their whole team there. Disgraceful, to be honest with you. But, I mean, ultimately, though, the fact that they got it to that stage was based on, obviously, Saitama having that moment, and then, of course, the other one, that PhantomT very nearly won as well, where UDog came back somehow. There was a couple of rounds there that they really did have to clutch up to keep it close, but PhantomT, I think, as a general, of course, deserved to probably win that map. But I mean, that was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous from Saitama. How on it? It wasn't just the first 3 kills; then he finds 2 on the way there. I don't know. I hope somebody clipped that one because that was some effort. To be honest with you, fantastic play by Saitama, but it's not enough. It's not enough for.
It's not enough. I mean, you know what? It's those drop shots. I said it a few times in game. Let's talk a little bit more about it now as we wait for the second map. The drop shots that were picked up by UDog were just not used very well. And that's the kind of short of it there. Blade was getting kills with them, but they were really kind of inconsequential kills. They didn't really gain anything from them. And they were kills that they could have got without using those drop shots. You saw it in that very last round. Blade looked up towards the bridge, shoots it over the top, clears a drop shot for his teammate, gets the kill, but off the back of that, what did they get that they couldn't have got from just a regular flank? Nothing, really. They didn't put any pressure there on PhantomT, and PhantomT able to survive through those drop shots, able to pick up some rounds because of it as well.
Yeah, absolutely so, and that is going to be a map over towards PhantomT. Of course, here in the quarterfinals, still 2 more games to go this evening after this one is finished. But of course, just to remind you guys, the finals coming up this weekend. If you are not signed up, make sure you do get signed up. Very, very excited to see 2 days of play across in Europe, of course. So everyone, there's no more complaining about the best out ones, okay? You know, we're going to have best out 3s all the way through. Double elimination. It's going to be a fun time. But District coming up next, kind of similar in a way. The fact that we're at least going to see some mixy stuff in the middle. Which way is this going then? I feel as a PhantomT after that one. Yes, okay. I think had UDog took that map based off what Saitama just did, then we've got a completely different mentality going into the second map. But I mean, as it goes, PhantomT, yes, okay, they lost that round, but they know that throughout the rest they were fairly comfortable. It very much could have been 5-3 or even 5-2 at one point. So I think for them, you have to look at it and sort of say, you know, we played that map well. Just a couple of clutch situations from them, which did get them out of it. But in the end, you know, they get the win, and that's the important thing. Heading into the district, they're probably got to be feeling confident for.
Yeah, you'd think so, right? They've weathered the storm. They've gone up against a team that's on fire. You know, they came through Breaker and Zul's team. That's a tough team to come through, did UDog? So, you know, they were already on fire coming into this game. And PhantomT, they had an on-fire team. They had weird strats being played against them. They had Saitama clutching up for his life, and they still came through and they still won. And you know what? They had 3 chances to win that game. So I would put my money on PhantomT here to come through and take this 2-0 now. But you're right. It does hinge on really those few rounds that could have gone either way, and you know, a couple of minutes really have determined whether or not UDog won this or, you know, PhantomT won it. So I think PhantomT will come through and win this for sure. District's going to be another interesting one though, for sure. It's one of those maps you can kind of play some unorthodox stuff. Maybe we're looking at something in the middle again, as you said. It's definitely something we can get a little bit mixy in, and we'll see how it goes down here. I would expect some big weapons to come out from the side of UDog. It looks like they're comfortable fighting for them.
Yeah, it's something that seems to be very much in their veins, of course. But let's see if they do go for it. Of course, I mean, on District, how many times do we say at Bandstand Cinema? They're very much focal points for these drops to come through. Of course, we may see a drop in a boom, or a drop in a talk, or a drop in a long shot. I mean, it's typically a nice little mix if we do get into those later rounds, of course. But PhantomT looking good in this one. 5-4. Map number 1. We want to take map number 2, maybe a little bit cleaner through.
Yeah, you'd hope so. You know, it really does hinge on these opening fights, though. These initials on Districts can be very fun indeed, and Vision, you're showing exactly how fun they can be as he comes through, gets that first kill coming through. His teammate as well will help him out for the second, and that's the Homes already in control here of PhantomT. PhantomT obviously on the COG side this time, UDog over on the Swarm. And this is textbook, really, from the COG side. Get the Homes, rotate up mid, try and get some kills up there.
They can find something here to see, and not quite going to happen. UDog able to stop the domination, rocket on through. It's going to be a push over towards A for that trouble as well. It's always one of those that can be flipped on its head of this map, specifically on the first half at A and C. You lose that fight over towards your own home hill, and all of a sudden it really can turn around. This time that will not be the case. PhantomT will defend and will keep a hold of B on top of that as well, and we're trying to now chase out UDog. Vision going to back on down. He was a big reason as to why PhantomT found themselves at a couple of good spots throughout that game there through, and we'll want to continue here. 3-0 to kick things off as well.
Nice defensive line setup here from PhantomT. See it right up the middle of the map. I like this kind of setup. A lot of teams opt for more of a defensive setup on District. I'm a big fan of the kind of mid line. I think that's a much better place to hold. Brutal, though, is putting a lot of damage down. Warrior Gun's doing well here, trying to get some kills coming through, but Saitama once again is there to save his teammates' skin, and we'll get that B hill. But as they've done that, the rotations come through, and look at the Homes. The Homes are now in control of PhantomT once again. A hill is going to drop. There's going to be a 1v1 at the Homes here on the A side. This could spell bad news, actually, for PhantomT if the pinch is done right.
Push coming through. Saitama putting the shots in. Turns around. Oh my goodness. His Nasher does a lot of damage through. Have to back on down. Ricardo falling. To push over towards A now. PhantomT looking to defend this one. Is going to be Warrior Guns, the only one left momentarily to help out. Here come the rest of the squad as well. Warrior Gun's going to drop. Is this going to be a domination locking in? 3 seconds now for Astralis to get there. Isn't going to be able to get there in time. And UDog will find round number 1. 2 minutes and 24 seconds is what it took. But a back and forth round there, Fruit.
Yeah, definitely back and forth. You know what? That initial, I said it was textbook. Not quite. In the end, you know, they lost a few too many kills going at the mid there, and they couldn't quite clean up on the cinema side as quickly as they'd have liked. And you know what? PhantomT, they paid for it. UDog with a nice comeback there. Boltok's going to go down the bottom side, and this is pretty standard here.
Yep, as mentioned, Boltok's through.
Definitely interesting that UDog decided to build bottom side first. That perhaps indicates that they might be leading towards dropping something down at the bandstand on the second half, but we'll see. PhantomT, they've built towards those grenades as well on the bottom side. Got to keep it even. Like Vision, he plays really, really aggressively here, but flashbangs coming out weren't quite as well placed this round, and Saitama will get one. Boltok headshot coming through, it looks like. As Ricardo loses his face. And up to the top side, Warrior Gun's going to get crossed out. He's way too far pushed up. Your teammates getting heavily pressed on the other side. You got to be a bit more careful there. You can't lose your life that easy.
Through, and no, well, Vision's going to lose his head. Blade will find that shot. The second onto Astrals, but does him up just a little bit. Well done, very patient. Out of Blade. EGL going to come through as well. The rest of his team here to push through for this domination. It's coming through in 3, and it will be locked in. That's 2 rounds in a row to UDog, you know, and
they're looking good on this map.
Yep.
They're looking real good on this map. I think, you know, any questions about whether or not that first map will have impacted them, very easily brushed off. Good opening rounds coming through, and it's just kills across the board, isn't it, really? We're seeing UDog really kind of just all members of UDog playing well. Whereas PhantomT, they could do with a couple more kills on the bottom side of that leaderboard, but are we going to see the top side built now? Saitama will place that Talon down. Bandstand being hovered here. Are we going to see it on round 3? We are indeed. There's the drop shot that we were kind of talking towards, and this is a good time to place it because you saw top side, that Talon got placed. It means that the bottom side weapon spawns both even at the moment, so going into the next round, they'll upgrade them to retros. The round after, shocks and Incense will come through, and neither team's at a disadvantage going into that. There's a good placement coming through from PhantomT.
Got through. Oh, not able to land if your Vision. You hate to see that. Brutal find the kill on the Warrior Guns. But still, drop wasted. And is there a second one going to be wasted? Yes, there is. These don't feel like necessary drops, if I'm honest, Fruit.
They're forced. They are really quite forced, and 2 drops, no kills. It's not what you want at all, especially when you've played that opener really quite well.
Yeah, worked out for them. Not finding anything from it is not ideal. Yeah, Warrior Gun's going to get dropped again. Blade now waiting for the rest to come through and not be able to find the kill himself. His teammates were there to help out, but now Blade in a bit of a sticky spot, to say the least. He's done very well to get a hold of one. Vision pushed out. The rest of his team just fall back. He drops, and all of a sudden this domination can maybe take in the second again. 5 seconds. The push now going to come through. PhantomT still here. PhantomT, though, all dead. And looks of things, just one remaining. That's Warrior Gun's just trying his best to now what seems like to be the inevitable UDog. 3 rounds in a row here. PhantomT not at the races yet.
Would love to know who picked this map, because if it's UDog, they certainly know how to play it. This is fantastic, honestly, from them. They're looking real good. You know what? This bandstand weapon, I said it might go down. I thought it was going to be the opposite side that placed it. I didn't think it would be PhantomT, and here we go. Those retros are going to get upgraded. See those come in, supporting fire. Team may or may not pick them up, depending on how much they really value getting there quickly. Seeing similar strats. 2 through the mid, though, from UDog this time around. We are going to see the retro picked up on the UDog side as well, which means we're going to see PhantomT get in very, very quickly. And there should be a kill coming through. Oh. That's a nice kill from Vision. Vision looking for 2, won't be able to pick it up just yet. Perhaps a little too aggressive, but the drop shot is out. 1 shot used, I believe. Astral's trying to hold bandstand. Will lose his face for it. Lovely kill by Blade, and he's playing real well. Look at that. 9 kills, 7 assists, 1 death. Dodging 2 drop shots as well now. Warrior Gun's the next name on his card as he's trying to use that pistol to get some damage down. Going to push forward, just trying to get a cheeky kill. He knows he's probably not getting out of there alive, so let's go forward. Let's try and be aggressive. And let's try and trade out 1 for 1. That was his attempt there. It didn't come through, but respects it for sure. Things are going to settle down a little bit. And this is the first time PhantomT have had a little bit of control, really, in maybe 3 rounds now. It was the first round they were contemplating that triple cap, didn't get it in the first round, and this round they're not able to get that home hill either, but they are set up once again.
Let's see if they can actually make it count this time, though. There's been a couple of rounds that they have had chances in. UDog just clutching up, finding a few kills in a row. Well, that's nicely done by Vision. Blade now going to drop. Warrior Guns, he's done well as well. We're going to fall. And now PhantomT can get the push forward.
B Hill will get decapped, though.
Yeah.
Really.
Nicely done.
See Warrior Guns there trying to get that retro charge. Saitama's got a big kill up towards the cinema side and isn't able to get the cap in, but did get the decap, which has kept his team alive. And I feel like I've said that a couple of times. I need to get a sound box so I can just play that one on repeat.
See what this fight's gonna entail for Saitama over towards the cinema. It's gonna find the shot on the Vision. Sorry, on the Ricardo, nicely done. Vision finding kills on the other side though himself. Still though, PhantomT with that win condition. That is gonna change round though, as UDog will now pick a hold up of B. Lane making the push onto his Strahls. We're just trying to keep the pressure on here. And down. Don't need to do anything crazy here. Got everything locked in that they could possibly want. Get a hold of the drop shot as well. I have a feeling that's getting sent over the wall in a second. Sent deep and a little bit wasted. Has been a multitude of wasted drop. I mean, that's as bad as it gets from both sides of things. But if you're brutal, you have to make this push over for C in a second to break it. The rest of his team to get up and do as much damage as they can over towards A. See now, he capped, but will be brought back for PhantomT. I need to find something here. I need to give this round at least. Bring 0 down. Not ideal. Warrior Gun's trying it again, specifically on Saitama. Who's going to break. Oh, okay, that got scary for a second, but unless PhantomT will get the round.
Given a couple more seconds, that could quite easily have been a lost home hill, to be honest with you. The only reason that I think Warrior was kind of confident in that is the flashbang that came out from Saitama was less than good. Ended up almost flashbanging himself there, and you know that's the kind of the ups and the downs, right, of players on the rise. They can have amazing, fantastic show reels like we saw in Asylum, and then 4 rounds later they're flashbanging themselves, and then it's also it's just a. One of those things where the real top end players, they'll not be making that mistake, Yeah, the kind of explosives, the mentals over on the American side, they don't make that mistake, and that's the only difference really, is the clean up there. Anyway, Incense out, Shock's out. Let's see what's going down this time at the bandstand as Vision's going to fall. Astrals is going to go down as well. This is a fight won from UDog. The middle is PhantomT's though, as is the home hill, and you can see that decap coming down on both sides. Blade has to win this fight and does so. Drop shot in hand as well here. Will mean that teams are going to split this vertically. Home hills will be PhantomT's. Bottom and drop shot will be UDog's.
What would you rather have? That's the thing. Well, the Warrior Guns hasn't been able to lock in this home hill. Brutal making it difficult. Warrior Guns will go through, clean this one up, and well, he'll do well to find anything else out of this. Eventually will fall. Whilst all that is going on, Warrior Guns have probably done quite a good job of just slowing UDog down there. Get a hold of E. D in their hands as well, but the overextension coming through from UDog over that side. Ricardo putting the shots in with the Lancet. Not quite good enough to lock down any of these players, but you'll butter them up on the way in. Right over towards D continues though. Warrior Guns putting good Lancer shots in. Just really good Lancer play by PhantomT here. Well, they're going to probably have to step up their efforts, actually, as the Strahls and Warrior Guns both falling. Strange round, this one so far. Both teams don't seem to be able to win a multitude of gunfights here.
Good look at that domination, though, ticking in. Someone from PhantomT has to touch a ring. They've got 2 seconds to do it. Warrior Guns will get the touch, but does get taken out for his efforts. And luckily, Astrals is able to get that kill, so PhantomT staying alive, but that was close. That was a nice play by UDog. And they're still putting the pressure on here. Blade's got 1 and 4 seconds. Giving me a heart attack, let alone the players. Keep sneaking back in behind PhantomT's defensive line and getting a kill easily, and ended up on that home hill. It's difficult to really get any kind of foothold, and now you can see, look, they're looking towards this drop shot. Shocks are picked up. Incendiaries will be picked up in a second as well, I'm sure. Warrior Guns is going to fall, but Astrals will get those incendiaries. Good incend coming out, and Ricardo will pick up that kill as well. A little bit of a misplay there by Brutal. Good shot by Ricardo. Can he get the second, though? That's the question. Nice. He can indeed. Blade will get another one. The drop shot is now in the hand, and Ricardo's got to push this. He's got to waste some time here. Got to find some kills, and the wrap shot isn't able to connect, and Warrior Guns was there to support. He didn't need to go for that, and Toomey's now been offered a fantastic chance. Can they get the decap over on the F, though, is the question. I don't think they can. I think UDog are about to go 4-1 up.
Looking that way. Don't think they've got legs on them. Get over to that side. PhantomT bleeding rounds here. That felt like one where they could have definitely come back into this through, but 41 down, they need 4 rounds in a row themselves to win this one 2-0. Not ideal. Not ideal in the district.
Question is what do they do now? I mean, UDog, they got the first pick. They're going to try and upgrade that talent, get themselves towards that incendiary as quick as possible. And PhantomT, you know, they can put something else down, but realistically, they're so far behind up on this top side, they can't afford to put anything cinema. And middle, well, that's pretty much even game, isn't it? Just going to be the build up on their home side. They're going to try and fight this again. Saitama, first one in here on the side of UDog. UDog looking to close this one out in 6 here.
In a good performance. Saitama, though, in the middle, trying to find something. UDog going to find the majority of the kills. And don't know what it is about District, but, I mean, they seem to enjoy it. In fairness, they've found a lot of these initial kills. They've rotated well. They've held off where they needed to. So far, so good for UDog here. They're looking to force a map number 3.
We'd already be going to it there, really, if it wasn't for Ricardo taking a 1v2 and then delaying the opposite 2 as well. Really good play by him just to delay here as his team did fall around him. Blade in a bad spot. Will get himself out, though. UDog just need to set up now. They just need to calm down a little bit. Not let this E-Hill get out of their control. There's that drop shot, but it is too late. E-Hill is decapped now.
A bit of a stalemate here in the round. Both teams will not want to give up control unnecessarily. It does kind of belong to UDog, though, that win condition. About 12 seconds or so. Here comes the push from PhantomT, though. Pushing through the middle, and UDog not in a good spot here if you're brutal, at least, anyway. Bill's being traded across the board, though. It's the 1-to-1 D that might be important in the grand scheme of this round, though. PhantomT will get a hold of D as UDog keep a hold of E momentarily. Well played by Ricardo. He will fall eventually, but the fight that's won over towards the cinema, and that makes the difference here.
It is making the difference, and it's the fight that's keeping UDog in it. The homes have been so often in PhantomT's control, but the neutral is pretty much constantly in that red zone, and Oregons will finally get the decap there. And they're going to trade that for a home hill, and that's not too bad, to be quite honest with you. They just need to make sure that they don't lose their own home hill off the back of this, and you can see the pressure is on here. Brutal. Getting that flashbang down. Ricardo will take it basically straight to the face and has to back right on up, but has the damage down here. Should be able to get the cleanup. No meat shield to come through, though. Has his own flashbang. Isn't able to do anything about it, though, as that wrap shot comes through from Saitama on that left hand. Shot grenades are plenty here at the drop shot. That'll go the way of UDog, and now UDog have the condition to win this.
Looking like they're going to close this one out in 6. It's been a really, really good performance on District. Strauss has left the game. They're just sort of admitting defeat at this point? I'm not sure, but Vision going to fall. UDog looking to try and close this one out, and well, there's only 3 members of PhantomT to worry about here, so should be an easy enough round, but figure out why Astrals has left. Unless it was looking like a UDog round through, but it could have changed, in fairness.
Yeah, and we're seeing there, Ricardo just saying game crash on the side of Astrals, so is what it is. They'll lose this one anyway. I think they were probably down and out, whether or not Astrals was in there or not, so I don't think it's really going to affect the outcome, to be honest with you. And, you know, really better to have that happen now than in that final map where they need to come back and, you know, and try and fight the PhantomT, because that really wasn't a great performance from them.
No, it wasn't. And I'm not really sure what was that different from Asylum for them. I mean, realistically, as mentioned, you know, it really was coming down to UDog, like, having to clutch up to win some of those previous rounds. But, well, in the end, they will actually get the win on District anyway. So, I mean, very well played. But it just seemed like a bit of a strange performance from the other side of things. And hopefully things can turn around for them in map number 3, which will be coming up shortly. Hopefully Astrals can get himself back into the game pretty quickly, and we'll get on one map number 3. But it's been completely the opposite of what we've seen in previous weeks, where things have been not close whatsoever all the way through, realistically, and we've had a very close game to kick things off. So you love to see it heading in towards the finals. Do you think everyone's stepping up a level through? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so, to be honest with you. I think we've had a lot of good practice, throughout the weeks now. 10 weeks of fantastic tournaments thanks to EGL. And honestly, I think it has helped the community as a whole improve. But also, we're also seeing a few less teams, but that's because some of those kind of weaker teams, the better players from those teams are stepping up and getting themselves in better teams. And as a whole, that top end is raising up for sure. And it's definitely proving that we've got some fantastic teams. I mean, you've only got to look at EXES, right? Crimson's moving over to a different roster after being on a very dominant kind of win streak, essentially. Prior to this EGL Open Series, his team was one of the top contenders. To leave that team to go over to a different team, it shows just how much competition there is up at that top, that there is that opportunity for him. And coming through and getting that win last week will kind of prove exactly what I'm saying out. That team is even better than ever now. So good to see that happening, and good to see that happening kind of down the board. It's a shame for some of those players not able to play because they haven't got a full team. But in terms of the actual top end competition, yes, it's definitely improving, and we're seeing better teams for it.
Absolutely. And it's nice to see, as mentioned, the competition across the board. So the finals should be fantastic next week nonetheless. So make sure you do get yourself signed up. Of course, it is over 2 days. So, I mean, I know you're entering. Are you expecting the end of the second day? I mean, if you do, we're probably going to have to look for another commentator. Matt will have to...
Matt can jump in. I'm sure he can do anything, right? So I'm sure that'll be fine. I don't know. I may enter, I may not. We'll see what I can get organised. I'd like to play for sure, but there's always that worry that I end up in the grand finals and we're down a caster, right? Toby will have to do it all.
It is a worry. It is a worry.
Said no one ever. But no, it will be good to play.
I was ribbing Toby about this last week, and I feel as if I upset him. He really wants to compete and get in amongst it. I think he took it to heart. I know he'll be in the chat and he'll tell me he wasn't. Because I was consistently ribbing him about it, in fairness. So we'll we'll lay off Toby for a week at least anyway.
1 week.
But just for 1 week. Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see how you guys do. I want to see the caster team. Is it going to happen?
I don't know. I'll have to speak to Elliot. I mean, you know what?
Too many home hill players there.
He won a round today. He made it through to that round of 16 today. Yeah, so there is some hope, it seems. So there is some light at the end of the tunnel for him.
My goodness, the grind has paid off.
Got suitably knocked out pretty quickly. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It's good to see him still playing.
Oh, well, Toby saying he competed yesterday. Of course, there was a control tournament going on. I remember you guys talking about that this morning. And the Gears.
Yeah. Do we get into that one now? I don't know. That's like pre-grand final kind of levels of shade, to be honest with you. But Toby did play well yesterday. I'll give him his due. It was an open tournament. A lot of good teams involved, including the likes of EXES, the likes of Champs OD, and there were some different teams up at the top end, and that's all I'm going to say on the matter. But some very good gears being played.
Indeed. I mean, I'm interested to see what Control's looking like, actually. What's your opinion so far as we wait on this map loading in? Where do you stand on Control?
I love it. I think it's great. I think it's really good fun to watch. I think that, yes, of course, there's always going to be a few tweaks, but honestly, I'd prefer Control plus Gridiron than Escalation on its own. I know that's up for debate. Like, there's a lot of people who think otherwise. But for me, I think Control, it feels good. Like, it's an interesting mode to play. And we've had some really good competition on it so far. So yeah, I think it's a great mode. I think TC have done a cracking job with it, to be honest with you.
Lovely. We like to hear that. I think there does need to be a mix-up very, very shortly. I mean, if there is another Open Series, I would neither like to confirm or deny. Then obviously we would like to maybe try and change things up. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. They'll all be screaming. Things will be on fire now that I've said that. In the back room, everybody will be stressing out. But it's something that could be, maybe they have the conversation over. If the game mode is doing well, we don't want to move too far away of what's going on in North America at the same time. But hey, if it's working, I like to see it. I think we need a shake up through. We need a shake up.
We do indeed. And well, you might get it here. Training Grounds, Chris as we go into map 3. We are ready to load in, and not a usual map. We don't often see training grounds, especially as that map 3, so kind of interested to see how these teams play it. We've got that opportunity for that weird middle drop again from the side of UDog, so perhaps that will come through after that first or second round. Pretty standard stuff coming out from the side of UDog as they take full control on the homes, but you got to look at what's going on here on the side of PhantomT. You got to love this. A trick strat out the bag. 2 seconds, 1 second. Can anyone touch?
It didn't work.
They will just about get away with it towards that neutral hill, but I love the idea. I think that was fantastically played by PhantomT, and, well, what a way to start this off.
Good way to start it off, but in the end, they do get a hold of ANC at least. Be now in the offing as well, but yeah, we'll go over towards UDog. PhantomT want to come out swinging after that map number 2. Very much not like them there. Shumiga's going to lose out here, though, for UDog. Be in their hands if you're PhantomT. See in your hands. And let's see how they play this one out. Plenty of control for them.
Plenty indeed. Warrior Gun's getting pushed out here. 1 kill would be great. 2 kills would be even better. Can he get 3? I don't really know. He's trying to find 2. He doesn't get it. Saitama shows him how it's done there with a double of his own. Brutal stealing a little bit of the thunder, and now pressure on over at the home hills. Astral's doing business over on the opposite side. Will be in another 1v1, and both teams opt in just for a little bit of control over their opposing team's home hill.
Just going to come through. Saitama now. Need a bit more magic from him if the UDog want to close this one out. Unable to do much there. Look at that difference though. About 100 points here for UDog now. A nice little spot. So 1 win condition is up though. What's for PhantomT? Sorry, they're the ones with the lead. I'm still half asleep here. I've ordered a second coffee. I'm going to see if Shan will bring me one up.
Oh dear. Ordered.
I'm struggling today. I don't know what it is. It's the early wake ups, mate. I'm not being used to it. It's been a long week. Anyway,
dear.
Carry me, please.
I don't know what's going on either. I was just thinking about getting a cup of tea myself. But anyway, back to it. 200 points to 130, 140. UDog trying to get back into this one. They are on the home hill. They are going to be pressuring this domination in just a second here. If you look at PhantomT, they are all over this side. They should be able to get this one back if they can just clean up a kill or 2 here. Saitama's going to fall, Blade's going to fall, and this is where you really need to start moving quickly towards that neutral hill if you want to get any control there. Can't let UDog set back up. Toomey finding a lovely down there, though, on Warrior Guns. We'll put more pressure on the home hill. There's going to be a 1v1 there. There's going to be 2v2 over at the B hill, and well, there's just a lot of people everywhere. Swarm will win. 10 seconds as they lock in that B hill. They need decaps on both sides of things. UDog looking like they are out of this round here. Good round for PhantomT. All starting off with a trick strat.
I know. It's a strange one. I kind of looked down for a second, just thinking, oh, you know, opening strats to their rounds, but it was very, very nicely done. I've had to ban that guy in the chat. He's talking down to PC again. Just hope he's going to have a hissy fit.
PC overlords over here. Chris Tunn leading the way.
Oh, EGL just banned him instead.
No crossplay for you. It is what it is. I mean, you show yourself up in chat, you get banned, you get removed. See you later. As we go into round 2.
Rowdy was probably having fun, actually. I kind of felt bad.
Get rid of him too. He does nothing for the scene. I don't know why he's still here.
Get rid of Rowdy as well, yeah.
Get all of them. Toby, he can go. Chid, get rid of Chid.
Bossman's next as well. Nah, mate. We buried the hatchet. Now it's fine.
Shade. It's what it is.
I'm only joking. Anyway, C is the only thing that UDog have a hold of. Well, there's a big push coming in over towards A. We're now making the push. We try and lock something in over towards the A side here if they can. UDog has not a lot in that offing for them, and they will get a hold of A, but a bit of a flip, of course. Nobody really got ultimate control here. You're now going to start making the push. What? What?
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
I am hoping Vision had already been down twice at that point, because that Gib range was way too far. I'm pretty sure it was just 100%. That ended up on a 3rd down. He got the kill there.
I mean, it was just it was a second shot as well. He does seem to have that very raw ability, doesn't he? What if he could be just molded into one of these players? He's very... I mean, he uses the same... I mean, come on!
Stop it.
It's clip after clip.
Making me feel
God's
old, man.
sake.
My eyes can't keep
even
up,
if they...
let alone my thumbs. I say that, I got flappy paddles now. It's all about the fingers.
I missed the first part of that conversation because I was looking at chat and
it's all right. Chat heard
coming in at the end there.
Don't worry. Don't worry about it. It was waffle. Ultimately waffle.
Ridiculous guy. More good play from Saitama. Will find UDog in a good spot now. I don't think we have the link for Saitama's stream.
Just do picture-in-picture next round if you want.
Yeah.
Really put him out on the spot there. Oh, God. That's nice as well.
It's all popping off here, isn't it?
It's just a good game back and forth. These two teams, they're well matched. Some really good players on both sides, Chris, and both of them obviously not wanting to go out just yet.
In being the hands of PhantomT. There is a cog win condition on the one cap, of course. Toomey now making a push, doing very well, just holding his distance. Warrior Guns now. Oh, he is going to win the fight. Over towards B. That's one over towards UDog as well. And that might be enough to close this one out.
They got time to get there. They do have time to get there, but Blade's going to have to win this fight here. Just 10 seconds, really. Oh, he's missed it! Ricardo snuck through the net here, and now we've got to jump over towards the Sea Hill, because that's where it really matters. Warrior Gun just needs to keep himself alive, to be quite honest, and stop the decap. If he can get a touch, he can't get a touch. The Swarm will still win, though. They've done enough. They've done enough to take it. PhantomT are going to steal another round, and 249 to 250. The Swarm will go up 2-0. That is a comeback, and that is all on that B Hill fight there, all on that Ricardo wrap shot.
Very nicely done from Ricardo. This PhantomT get themselves back in the lead. Nicely done. There's a question mark to it. Look,
I'm ignoring it.
Here we go. Are we ignoring it?
So, you know, I'm not getting involved in that conversation. It's a slippery slope for everyone involved. I saw too much drama yesterday with regards to mouse and keyboard and controllers that I don't want to even think about it today. Drop shots down, that's where I want to focus my attention, as flashbangs are aplenty here on the bottom of the U. Brutal's going to find that first down. The wrap shot will not connect, and this is going to be turning around towards the PhantomT, but that man, Saitama, has found a kill once again. Ricardo shuts him down. Ricardo gets the revive. Ricardo's going to get a drop shot for his trouble as well, and, well, he has been stepping up the last couple of rounds, in my opinion. Really good play from him. The A-Hills maybe thought about it for a second. They are deciding to go back towards the B-Hill setup, and they're going to go for neutral instead, and this is not a bad idea, to be honest. I quite like this drop shot in the overlook. You can defend your home. You can defend the B-Hill with it. If you want, you can play aggressively as well. If they overstep on one side, a quick drop shot to kill the guy defending home, and you're through, really.
That's deep. Oh, good shots. Ricardo land the first one, may well land the second as well. Toomey going to fall. The butter a blade. Oh, nicely done. Well held from Ricardo. Waits for the push to come through. And now in the potential for Ricardo, who really has popped off here for PhantomT. And he's a big reason as to why they're going to lock in another round here. Huge plays out of Ricardo. That's 3-0 now.
Quad at the end of that, really, coming through. 2 drops and then 2 shotgun kills. Looking real good. This just seems to be a better map, doesn't it, for PhantomT all round? And I know that big drops just dropped down, and we're going to see things kind of change a little bit here. Especially as we go into this kind of incendiary style play at the top side. But honestly, PhantomT just looking a little bit stronger on this one.
They are indeed. Well, either team does have themselves a date with highly rated in the semi-finals. Yeah, it's tough.
That's a stinger, isn't it?
It is. It is, but I think even putting yourself in that spot, you know, we have mentioned multiple times throughout the weeks, The EGL RP does, well, help the seed, but it obviously gives you a better spot. The more that you pick up, the higher your seed, the easier things are realistically. So if you are PhantomT or even UDog, getting yourself into that semi-final will earn you valuable RP heading into the finals next week. So it could change things around for these boys. Let's see. Can PhantomT lock this one in? UDog need to turn this around very, very quickly, but Ricardo has been an absolute demon on the map, although that one's going to be wayward. He's going to have to back on down, and, well, he will get out, I think, just about. C and B in the control of UDog now. They got control of top bridge here as well. They do win in this fight. Of course, things are going to change around at the end of this round, where the H will become, obviously, over towards E, and then all the hills changing around, but there you go. Kills coming in for PhantomT all of a sudden. Drop shot. Well, it was necessary. We'll clear it up, and now to push over towards C. Well played by Ricardo.
Yeah, and that's that drop shot that I was talking about last round, where you can get that quick kill, and it just opens up that route. It's a free home hill decap, essentially, coming through, and that allows his team to play well on the other side, and Ricardo's still going here at the home hill. I thought he might have just got the decap and back out, but no. He wants blood, and he's got 1 kill already. He isn't quite able to get the second there, but wasted a lot of time here. Allows his team just to set up around that B hill and get themselves in a position where they can start to defend here on the neutral.
See, the only thing that UDog have a hold of in the minute. They push in towards D, Beaven.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good shot as well. The Astral's going to drop. Toomey and Blade will deal with him and get a hold of B here. It's going to be 53 seconds now. UDog to hold on here. Saitama going to drop one over towards his home hill as well, or towards the home hill of it. PhantomT at least anyway finds another one, and this could be the first round for UDog now. The Incend is well placed. That's ticking in, and that is the first round for UDog. 3-1.
Nice kills coming through there from UDog at the end. Just snowballing their way through, really. Finding a couple of kills. And you know what? It kind of starts, sadly, with Ricardo on that home hill. He's down there. He's a little too deep. He does trade him out for 1-for-1, but it just gives an opening on that top side. UDog kind of come through and able just to snowball that couple of kills through. And nice domination for them. They needed that round, to be honest with you. They're going into the half 4-0 down. Pretty much down and out, to be honest with you. 3-1. Yeah, that's not too bad. You can come back from that.
Yeah, 100%. See if we can, though. They managed to dominate map number 2. Can they find the turnaround here as we head into the half? We're now going to back on down, but just coming through from PhantomT up top. Saitama making the push forward. Try and get some shots in on Astrals and Warrior Guns. Can't find it. Astrals has done so well. Kill being one down low as well. PhantomT really seem to be in the ascendancy here. Forgot to get a hold of E, but they're sprinting towards D nonetheless. Warrior Guns, yep. Yeah, you're going to need to get that. Rest of the team now over towards D. Brutal. Bad spot. Performing condition to 3 seconds as the domination starting to tick on through. We'll get the touch eventually. Stopping this domination eventually ticking. Brutal. Finds one kill. Here comes the drop shot. Toomey, though, is going to find one. Second drop shot coming through. Is going to land for Warrior Guns as well. Toomey now. Very, very red, but Ricardo, the only one who can potentially even do anything here. Saitama making the push through. The roll, is it going to be punished here? Not quite. Saitama will find the big kill on his home hill once again and keep UDog in this round.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, really, there on the side of PhantomT. The misroll saving Saitama's life, to be quite honest with you. It's just one of those things where sometimes, you miss input, but you come away actually looking out for it, because you don't only trick yourself, you trick your opponent, and that's exactly what happened there. And now look at this, UDog, off the back of what's technically a mistake, has come through, and a good kill from Saitama after that. Should be another kill coming through there. Yep, that was a big old bait there, and Warrior Guns, well, he got hooked right in the cheek.
Shots into vision. Not enough. Push over towards D now, going to come through for UDog. Swarm win condition of 30 seconds. You'd imagine a 1 cap will do it here as well for them, even though they do have 2 to their name. Straw's probably going to make a push over towards E now. That seems to be the one that makes sense. It's Toomey now trying to make the push over towards F. It needs to be a domination here from UDog or a decap for quite some time. Saitama once again finding kills. There's Toomey now making the push over towards this site. Can he lock in F and help his team out here? Good shots on the Warrior Guns. He's going to be dealt with. But that 2-cap is not going to be enough. But the 3 will be. E going to be locked in, possibly. But on the other side, Ricardo is able to defend, but has to be careful. The drop shots start to fly on through. Potential here for UDog to do something as Saitama finds another. This is another round that Phantom are potentially going to throw away here. 3 seconds, 2 and 1. Have to get in. They've rolled the other way. How on earth are UDog allowed to win that round?
A series of very well executed 1v1s is honestly my answer there. UDog, they should have lost it. They absolutely should have lost it, but they clutched up on all 3 hills at the same time. And you know, when you lose 2 1v1s like that and you're losing that fight over at the opposite home hill, I mean, you are going to forfeit the round. PhantomT, they just weren't able to hold it. Perhaps a little bit too cocky, to be honest with you. You saw that fight down at the middle U, the neutral hill, and that looked pretty simple. Saitama just wandered up and got the gib. Like, there was no real defense from it, and I don't know, maybe that could have been played a little bit better from the side of PhantomT. But UDog, they capitalize, they come through, they get the drop shot, perfect timing as well. 2-3, I saw, I said that, didn't I? 3-1, you can come back from it, and here we go. UDog trying their best to do just that.
Let's see if they can. Saitama up top, flash out. Him up from his teammates here. Last time around it was PhantomT to win this fight, and I mean, it's not going to be very easy to do so if you're killing your own teammates as Warrior Guns deals with the Strahls. Well, speaking of deal with, that's going to be Ricardo getting rid of Saitama off the map. Probably be getting that drop shot out as well, potentially, but once they're going to come through, Ricardo has done very, very well to keep control of E here. Secret Man on Blade, potentially too. He knows the push is going to come on through. Just forced him away. Doesn't need to do anything crazy. The drop shot should be going over towards Ricardo. He will be pushed away. Protected on his way out. Can't land the first shot. They have D in their hands now at least, so they can make a slow push over towards E.
Yeah, this should be a pretty easy cleanup coming through, but 2 drop shots missed. It's not been great, has it, the drop shot performance in this series? There's been some pretty whiffy ones, to be quite honest with you. UDog coming through now. Couple of kills that they really shouldn't have been afforded there, as Astrals is the last person alive here from PhantomT, and the pressure is on once again. Here come UDog as they're starting to push up. Brutal, doing the right thing, just waiting for his teammates. Getting a little bit of chip damage down as he can, and the decap's going to come through in a second. Warrior Gun should go down pretty easily in a second, he does. Here are the reinforcements though from PhantomT, and Brutal falling all the way down on his head. PhantomT are able to win this fight this time around. Thought Vision was going to get cleaned up then as well, but good revive coming through from his teammate will keep him alive, and now the hunt is on. Saitama has to run back, and the E-Hill will go over to the PhantomT team once again. Look at the point lead though, Chris. 172, 85. It's going to take a miracle, really.
Our team win condition is that. Still 70 seconds though, so it's not like it's out of the realms of possibility here. I think about 10 to 20 seconds of a decap or something like that on the side of PhantomT to try and get back into this round. Strahls having to defend on this side of things don't make things so difficult. If you're UDog, you can just concentrate all your teammates on one hill. Oh, Strahls has gone away with that though. That's 2 kills you probably shouldn't have found, but Toomey will, no doubt, pick up that kill and we'll get a hold of D. That's the plan here, that Toomey has to defend all on his own. As the rest of the team, are they going to be making this push? Warrior Gun's just going to back it on down. Decap going to come through at least. Domination ticking, only momentarily. It's not going to be enough to change things round yet. On the side of PhantomT, I don't think. Close to. Oh,
Only
it's
just.
very, very close. Just. UDog can lock it in on a 1-cap. Still, and we can see the overextension coming in at D here for it.
Yeah, just pressuring both hills. That's the good thing to do right now. There's a drop shot in the air. You don't want to stack up on one hill, especially when that's in front of you. Decaps come through on the one side. Oh. Saitama making big plays on the other as well, and I think that might have been just enough. It is. You see the claps coming out from Toomey. They are most likely going to tie this up at 3 apiece here, and although their drop shot was in PhantomT's hand, that play to extend to play both home hills at the same time was absolutely the right call, and now we are tied up 3 for 3, map 3. all to play for.
Back and forth, yeah. 3-3 now. Just so evenly matched it feels, isn't it? I mean, map number 2 was a bit of a blowout, but map number 1 and map number 3, very, very close at this moment in time. So utility on either side, of course, now. Maybe make this fight a little bit more interesting. Not just about head first in there. Which way is it going to go?
It's like UDog. They're going to be pushing up top pretty heavily. So they've left that U fight alone, and that's interesting because that's their right hand that they've kind of backed out of there. Saitama is going to get cleaned up by an Insen. Brutal's going to go down. Azar, Blade, and Toomey. They're both going to get picked up as well, and this could be a very quick round, actually, on the side of PhantomT. They've got to find Saitama. He's going to try and take the back route here. The smoke's going to go out there, and that's a nicely placed smoke. Vision will get connected with, and Saitama trying to do something once again. The headshot coming through was big, but is it big enough? Question is the domination going to get locked in? It is straight away. Really nicely played.
Wow. And
the audio glitch caught me out as well as a team, it looks like. Oh, dear. It'll get fixed someday.
It's all right, mate. Last week was an absolute nightmare in terms of me trying to figure out when it was happening.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to look at the leaderboard as well as we kind of go into this next round. I'm pretty sure Saitama's almost breached 30 kills. Disable coming down on the shot grenade. I imagine something similar here on the Incens as well. It's going to be pretty much a face-to-face fight. Yeah, look at that. Saitama, 27 kills, 16 deaths right now. Leading the way. I mean, his team aren't far behind him total. They've only got 31 total. He's got 27 on his own.
Doing well.
He's doing all right.
Well. Straight through. They're very,
Secret
very
man,
quickly.
though.
Flash going to come through. Oh, no, they can't let that happen. Vision in a good spot. Toomey going to be forced away, but will manage to find the kill in the Vision. Well done. And well played by Toomey, continuing. Strauss will eventually get rid of him, but 2 kills found by him now, and looks like PhantomT are going to be the ones to benefit nonetheless. Warrior Guns will lock E in. Just about holding on now.
Yeah, that's kind of an unfortunate one, really. A 3-for-2 trade, you get the drop shot out, but the drop shot doesn't really do much here and now. UDog, they can kind of come in. You don't have time to set up properly, and UDog are going to take full advantage of that. You can see they've got up top. They have got that balcony, and they can support now on both sides. They can get the crossover towards the home hill, and they can also put pressure down towards the U, and you're going to see them do this here as you see Saitama just back and forth, putting pressure on, just trying to shoot Ricardo in the back as his teammates are making a little bit of a play up towards the D hill. And I think right now, honestly, if you are PhantomT, you could make a very quick rotation through that middle and just kind of leave the E side of things alone, but they're going to try and fight it out. Scrappy players they are, as Astrals is going to get 1, maybe 2. Can he get the 3rd, though? Oh, he will trade out, and Blade will die. That means that's a good fight, really, coming through from PhantomT. They win that 2v3.
And they're
going to get the domination as well. And they're going to win the game. Just like that.
Oh, it does catch you off guard, doesn't it? It's very difficult sometimes, but there we go. The domination locked in. Those big fights over towards E, working out for PhantomT. Eventually will get it done. Took a 3-0 lead. Got a little bit scary. 3 rounds in a row from UDog, but in the end, they close it out relatively comfortably. Well played from them. They will advance on into the semi-finals there through, and deservedly, you would say.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Districts, questionable. They didn't look fantastic on that, but the other 2 maps, they were definitely the stronger team, right? I mean, they played into the drops that UDog were placing down. They managed to kind of find a way through that. They were getting drop shots. They were getting kills. They were winning those initials. Even against, when Saitama's popping off, they're able to shut him down. So yeah, definitely the better team coming through, but a very, very close series and a really good one to watch for sure.
Yep. Very, very close. Well, I do believe we are going to go for a quick break, but we do have a semi-final coming up shortly. And, well, I mean, hopefully all the games are that close and that good between each other. Let's hope that is the case. We'll be coming up with the semi-finals very, very shortly. We'll see you soon. Ladies and gents, welcome back to the EGL Open Series. The coffee is being consumed and we're into the semi-final and we're straight in. We love to see it. No fannying around, which is a big surprise, if I'm honest with you, through. But here we go into what should... well, it is a surprise. I mean, we're used to all of these guys. We're taking the time a little bit. But, my goodness me, the gang are back together. Look at Crazed and look who he's playing with.
I know. Back with the gang, isn't he? Back with the gang, Hydro and Crazed, Phelpsy, Jackfix over on the Champs OD side. This is a scary roster, but on the other side, another very, very scary one. Last week's champions, EXES Esports. Got Pains, Crimsons, Crisis, and Bouncers. And this is what they're all about. Aggression, early kills, relentless pressure. And what looks to be a very quick first round if they can get on this home hill.
Looking like they may be able to get this one locked in. Now, it's either for me, gonna be super close, or EXES are just gonna run through them. Maybe is looking like the ladder. Pains, well, just being a big pain, to be honest with you. And well, we know how much he likes playing against Phelpsy and Co. I'm sure we'll see plenty of BM, which I live for, by the way.
Live for.
There you go.
It's the only thing you get up in the morning for. I mean, to be honest,
you know what, mate? It is. It's envisaging my Sunday with either you or Toby and seeing some bad manners via Gears of War. Is this going to be a normal thing now, where they're going to be dropping this in the middle now? Because yep.
For Champs OD, I'd imagine so. It's kind of how they play, right? I mean, HG, ZP, or whatever they used to be called, they just used to place power weapons down in the middle, random places, and play that from the bat as well. They practice one strat, they do it well. It's how they play it. They've done it for years. It was the same on Gears 4. You think back to Dam, drop shot placement up at that top sandbag was pretty much all they placed for 2 years straight. So I'm not surprised to see it here either. But I mean, this is a team that you're going to struggle against doing that because they're so proficient in those initials. They're so strong. They're a very head-down team. Yeah, they'll absolutely fight you for it. This only really works if you're kind of winning those initials consistently, which is what this team used to be all about, right? They used to be that team that didn't matter whoever you went up against. You could be talking your top teams from Europe, your top teams from LATAM, or North America. Oh, Train says no to that one.
That is tough.
They could win those initials against them, and they've kind of fallen off a little bit here. And you're going to see EXES Esports. They will run at this, and they will try and fight this drop shot every single time. And I'd be surprised if they don't win it most of the time as well.
Yeah, they play well as a unit, and well, that's the domination ticking. But normally, momentarily, as Champs OD are going to be able to keep a hold of C, and that's what they're going to continue to try and do. Hydron is going to take some shots, though, as he wrapped around to find one. Oh my goodness, Hours Crisis found both of those. Now, if you're Champs OD, you need to get back in, but you've got a drop shot to run through as well. Crazed will get a touch here, but is it going to be enough? Oh, Crisis. He really has started to excel in this roster. Him, Crimson's, Pains, all very dangerous, and bounces the cherry on top of the cake. 2-0 now to EXES, and this is looking so nice for them.
It is super quick. Only 2 kills on the board as well for Champs OD. They need more than that, especially if they're going to be placing weapons like this. I mean, what do they do now? Are they going to play something entrance? They're going to play something tracks? I don't know. Do you keep this super messy? Or are you going to just go and try and build up and be a placement behind? It looks like they're going to start to build the bottom side. Or at least Craze is just hovering it right now. Boltok's going to go down. That's actually quite a good weapon to have on the bottom side, whether or not you manage to get it or not. Sorry, if you manage to upgrade it or not, because you can find those headshots across the top.
Pushing the one beat. It's going to drop immediately. Really good crossfire coming in from Champs OD. A couple of downs onto Pains already. Should be dropped in a second. Not quite. I mean, he's going to go for it, which I love to see. Push coming through. Oh, the drop shot into the head from Phelpsy. Now going to drop down. Crazed is the only one to answer back. Push over towards B, going to come through. And to be honest, he's played that quite well. He was momentarily the only one alive for his team, and he is just going to distract EXES away from the push over towards E. Or A, I should say. Pains now. Going to have to drop on down and Waiting for some teammates to come help him out. Look at that fit. Jesus. I mean, they're pretty simple shots, it has to be said. But, well, are they that simple, though, Fruit? I'm not quite sure. Alcizico now making this push through. Jack will deal with one. Can he find the second as well? It's good shots, and not quite good enough to deal with Crisis now, and the domination's going to start ticking. Grace Kadua finding this kill on the outside. It's going to continue to be the pressure coming in here from EXES Esport. They will have to back on down as phelpsy does win a fight over towards A. But nonetheless, EXES very much in a controlling position here for it.
Yeah, they are. I mean, this is the first round Champs OD have kind of looked competitive in this matchup, so good to see them kind of coming back into it after 2 rough rounds, but you're right. EXES Esports absolutely in the driving seat, even though this is a bit of a longer round. They're putting the work in, right? They're getting set up properly. They're rotating quickly. You can see the movement now over towards the home side is there. They've already got 3 defending this before Champs OD's 2 are even anywhere in position, and now Champs OD have to rotate backwards. They're moving. They're trying to find just a position where they can get a pinch on the go, really, and they're going to try and make that on the cave.
EXES still in a dominating position here.
That's a good ball tuck, though. That crack with a ball tuck might have given phelpsy a little bit of wiggle room if he had not been getting pincered by 2. And now the home hill play coming through from EXES, and this is how quick they are. Yes, they lost that fight, but look how quick they are to find that next 1v2 and get themselves in a position where they're gaining points or at least not losing more.
Crimson now pushing the tempo for his team. 8 seconds for that win condition to come on through. Well played. It's these old teammates. The domination will tick in just before EXES managed to lock in the 250, or not quite. 3-0 nonetheless, though. This has been comfortable, to say the least, so far through. Just haven't been able to compete here, have they really, Champs OD?
No, it's been super quick. Really has been quick. We're seeing a wait message come through on the side of Champs OD, so we may get a slight little delay on this one, but you're right. It's been so quick. It's been so aggressive. EXES Esports just really haven't kind of put any sort of break on it. They've just been full throttle all the way through. Looks like the issue's been resolved as well in the downtime, yep. So we're good to go.
Good that they can communicate with each other at least. EXES though. I'm gonna close this one out very quickly. Notoriously, in fairness, when you think of this team, they always have done very well on the first half of Asylum, whereas the second half's maybe a little bit harder for them to find much. This moment in time, though, the first half is looking very good for them. Crimson's now going to try and lock this one in. A decap will do him. He's going to back on down. Got the drop shot in his hand. His teammate here to help him out as well. They may be able to take a second bite at this one. Crazed, well, should be very dead, or at least forced away. Second comes through, though, and oh, there you go from Crimson's. Drop shot was a little bit fortuitous, but just dragging them away as best as he can. The other teammates here for Crimson's now needs a little bit of help as phelpsy has tagged them up. phelpsy, though, stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Don't think, Champs OD, you've got time to get there. And EXES 0-0 now.
Yeah, these guys are looking strong. I mean, they're making Champs OD, who are, you know, by all means a very good team, look amateur, right? They look like they're not even close to being anywhere competitive at the moment, and that's just how good EXES are. We've spoke about how good they are, and they really are at a level now with Crimson's where they're competing and just looking so good. I mean, it's surprising me, to be quite honest with you. Like, I know they're good, but this is really dominant. Barely a kill's coming through on the other side, and you got to say that move for Crimson's has been the right one, it seems.
Yeah, it seems so. This is very dominant so far. Always when Maradona and, of course, Champs OD would go up against each other, it'd be relatively close, but Maradona were getting the better of them recently, and, well, they're continuing to get the better of them under EXES this time around. Pains continues to put just that down on Champs OD. The overextension coming through. Nobody going to spawn back up in time. I don't think he's that quick in that. is as clean as a 5-0 as you are likely to see this weekend. 29 seconds, round number 5. There we go. EXES Esports 1-0.
Yeah, that's looking real good. And I'm just seeing a little bit of the BM you were wondering about in the chat now. We're seeing some folk talking about swords, some folk talking about no deaths.
Crimson didn't die.
Yeah, I mean, 18 kills, no deaths. That's that's a finger, isn't it? Really, to your whole team. That's pretty good going. That is pretty good going. And honestly,
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, EXES, so good, so good.
I feel guilty for not realizing the fact that he didn't die. My God, I mean, you just presume that that's not going to happen in 5 rounds of Gears of War, but nonetheless, here we are, and Crim will go through map number 1 without dying. I mean, it's fair to say that that was pretty good from EXES, and we are very quickly going towards that route of that grand final that we expected to see. Champs OD, though, I mean, I'm just having a look at it there myself. How many kills between them? 7. There was 10 kills between them in 5 rounds.
That's not fantastic. It is not fantastic, to be honest.
And you can't necessarily say that's down to any, playing it as a team any better. That's pure just not winning your gunfights. And if that doesn't happen, I mean that's crazy. That is crazy, unfortunately, for their side of things. EXES just very much outplayed them, outslayed them at the first point, and then that finds them at 1-0, and it makes you wonder what we're going to see in map number 2, because it needs to be a hell of a lot different if you're on the side of Champs OD at this point. A hell of a lot different.
It does. I mean, the first step is those initials, right? They need to be somewhere close to the races. You saw that drop shot go down from Champs OD, but realistically, did they get hold of it? No, they didn't. And some fantastic play coming through, obviously, to kind of get that initial 1 from the side of EXES, but honestly, it didn't even look like they were close to winning it. And that's really worrying when that's your kind of go-to strategy, and it's just getting unfolded so quickly, so easily. You got to think for finals, they got to come with a different strategy, because that ain't it. That really ain't it. They've just dismantled them playing the game that Champs OD wanted to play.
Yeah, I do often see them do that, where they put that drop down quite early if they do lose that first round against teams like this specifically. And it has potentially worked out in the past, but it's not going to work against this team. You got Crimsons and Pains on those initials. I mean, it's a very, very difficult one to win. And then Crisis had a very, very good game on top of it. I mean, my goodness, that was a very, very good performance by the side of EXES. And heading into game number 2, I hope we see something different, or we'll be heading in or waiting for the grand finals for quite some time. Hey, we might be able to get in the second map of the other semi-final at this rate. I said we were on for a later finish, but if it continues this way, then absolutely not. We'll be done in an hour. To be honest with you, that is an absolute flyer from EXES. We're heading into map number 2 very, very shortly. It's one of those that you can't really break down that much. Map number 1. What do you say? What do you say?
It really is difficult. You can't say much. You really can't say much about it. They just look so strong. The initials were fantastic. They were cleaning up the kills that were left over after those initials very, very quickly. They were already on the home hill by the time that had finished as well. That fourth person essentially making that move straight away to put the pressure on. And if they do that again on District, well, we're going to see the same old thing. And, Phelpsy, he's got a big job ahead of him in this middle here. He's going to be against Crimsons right up here on the juice. And it's going to be an interesting one. Phelpsy actually not opting to fight this. Crimson's usually that, I'd say a little bit more defensive kind of a player, is the one making the first move here. And you can see Phelpsy, he's getting shot from the cinema side. A little bit of damage from Crimson's is just enough to make him panic. And then Crisis with that Lancer Fire will come through and help clean that up. And now the 2v1 is quick. The 2v1 is very easy over at the cinema side. Does look like they're on the bottom side. Champs OD have managed to find a couple of kills, and it is going to be a rotation back for Crazy. He's trying to get himself set up in this little pocket here that we sometimes call the God Spot.
Well, already at least 1 kill to his name for Chris, so that's a good start. Let's keep an eye on Crimson, see if he's going to die in this game. Has he already went down? Actually, I know he's playing B, so maybe not. Not yet. There's potential for it. But still, yeah, X is not quite necessarily doing what they were doing on Asylum and running through Champs OD. But for ChampsOD, you know, I mean, the play time has always been a question. There was talk of them really putting the time in this week. Things really do need to change for them to get something going here. Crimsons will fall this time around, and Phelpsy will clean it up. It looks as if ChampsOD maybe getting online here through.
Yeah, just a little bit, right? I mean, this is what they needed. Not a complete wash on that first round. Good kill there coming through as well, and Bouncer's Crisis is going to fall as well. And this is what you need from ChampsOD. You need to just rack up a few kills, put a little bit of pressure on them, and really start just to kind of make it difficult. And you know what? The domination is going to tick through here. There's no one around for EXES, and ChampsOD, they're going to get their first round on the board. Took them 2 minutes, but you know what? That's a real good sign for District that they managed to stay in it. They lost that initial at the top, and they still managed to stay in it. And honestly, come through with a round win against the odds. That's what you need. Break the momentum, go into the next round.
Very much feels like the momentum may be broken there, so nicely done by ChampsOD. Surely we don't see him in drop here, do we?
Be interesting. I mean, I'd hope not from EXES, to be honest with you. I really would.
Why would you hope not? It's their bread and butter, mate.
For them, I don't think that's the right play. Like, I think they are very good. I think EXES are very good at playing whatever the count is. I don't think you need to shake it up all that much round one, to be honest with you. Especially when ChampsOD are likely to do that anyway if you get a round on them. Oh, that's nice from Phelpsy.
Much better start here, hasn't he? 5-1 right now, make that potentially 60 assist at least will come on through. So, well played from Phelpsy. Made a complete wraparound at C. He could decap whilst helping his team out. Over towards that side. Domination ticking in 3, 2, and 1. It's a 1v1 against Crimsons. He's just about going to get there. Phelpsy, though, wins the fight. Where's the rest of the team here for EXES Esports? Need to be making the push over towards something here, but that domination ticks through again. It just feels as if EXES Esports aren't in the race in this. I mean, this game makes no sense to me sometimes, I'll be honest.
So I like how Phelpsy's played that. Let me talk a little bit about that one, because what you usually see when you play this and your mid guy wins the fight is that they usually loop down towards that bandstand and they try and assist there and they try and play homes through the bandstand. And Phelpsy this time, he took that info almost instantly. You know, he was in a good spot to help the cinema fight. He got the down there, so that bit of attention just over towards that top side won them the home side instantly, right? It's 4 bullets and he's won it. And then he's also able, in that downtime, just to get in behind EXES Esports, and that's not something you usually kind of anticipate. You usually see if a guy's playing top side, they'll go to homes and they'll play the top, or they'll play B, sorry, at the top, or they'll come down to the bottom and play homes. And just a nice little positioning thing for him there. And you know, we're going to see him play for this drop shot now as well as we get into it. Flashbangs all over the place, and it looks like EXES have to back off slightly. Phelpsy holding that right hand should be able to get something here, but that mid-wall presence is pretty good from EXES.
Yeah, I like that. Very good. It's going to be Crimsons making the push that way. Phelpsy will be back up and running. Now Crimson's trying to do his best on his own. We'll find one. He's chasing Phelpsy down as well. Phelpsy will get out, but Crimsons will have a lock on this drop shot if he does get a chance to pick it up. Domination was ticking for a second there, but ChampsOD will win their fight over towards C eventually. Phelps will drop, and that is going to be a drop shot available, and that is going to be Pains. Imagine picking that one up.
Got every piece of ammo we could find first.
Yeah.
But yeah, it absolutely was. Oh, nice play by Hydron here, just trying to catch Crisis off guard, but Crisis doing the right thing, checking, making sure that the coast is clear. We'll get that kill coming through, and what would have been a nice little play there, caught off guard by some good heads-up checking there by Crisis. And I like that play at the cinema there. You know, Crim, he knew he had time. He knew he had a teammate off respawn that was going to get there first. And he made it look as if Phelpsy had that upper hand by taking that drop shot side, but he knew he could get enough damage down just to get the down, and really well played. They come out with the drop shot anyway.
Oh, a good spot for EXES Esports to finally get themselves on the board. Very surprised that they find themselves 2-0 down, considering what happened in map number 1. This was as one-sided as possibly can be on Asylum. Shot going through, crazed. Unable to react. Phelpsy should be dead here as well. Yeah, Pains is going to drop him. Really well played. Just gets the angle. The rest of the team are there to pick it up. And now B should be continue to be controlled by EXES Esports now. Pains still in a good spot to nullify any push. Just going to start coming through. Has he timed it right? Not quite. Hydron, will not quite get there. Yes, he will get the cap, and Pains will have to deal with this. But nonetheless, the round will come through. Nicely done from EXES. A little bit different to the rounds we've seen them picking up on Asylum through, but an impressive one nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely an impressive one. And you know what? It was that drop shot going down at the cinema again. These big weapon fights, obviously EXES have practiced at them, and they look good on it. They look really good on it. And you know what? It was this time they were the ones that placed it down. Moving away from that bandstand, just making sure that ChampsOD didn't quite have the leg up in the weapons going into it. And you know, look at it now. Talon on the top side. You imagine ChampsOD are going to put something similar up here as well. It's even now for this fight on the drop shot, and it'll stay even for the rest of the map.
Continue. Over towards B, and it's that drop shot once again, as you mentioned. Obviously, late flash in, expecting Pains to go for the rush, and does so. Oh, he can't find the shots. Which way is this going to go? It's just everybody swinging, and it's going to be EXES who come out on top. Getting aggressive with the drop shot here as well, and Hydra making this push is going to be dealt with by Crisis and Bouncers helping out. Now the push over towards A, going to start coming on through. EXES in a good spot to potentially dominate here.
Yeah, definitely, especially with this drop shot on this bottom side here. Pains is just going to wait, try and pick up a couple of easy kills. He's got one. He's going to shoot the next one around the back of the guitar box. That'll be two. And they're going to just work their way over towards that homes. There is a member here of ChampsOD waiting. It is Hydrone. He has got the flashbang as well. He's able to delay just a second here. He's able to get a kill, that's the question. Big spread by Pains. Should be able to get the revive coming through. And this is a bit of a scrap, but it looks like it's going EXES's way. Pains is getting one. He's going to get two, actually. He's looking for his third. Nice movement, but in the end, it's going to be Crimson as that comes through and gets that down.
Yep, should be cleaned up. Now wait, and that's going to be 2-2. EXES Esports trying to get themselves in a better spot now and have found themselves drawing things up. ChampsOD need to maybe try and go back to what was working out for them last time. I think, you know, it's this drop shot fight. Ever since that's come into fruition, that's where things have got a little bit tasty. Well, EXES Esport, they've come out on top both times, and ultimately that's a big reason as to why they've come out on top, I should say, in the rounds.
It is. And it just seems that ultimately when the fight's almost said and done, EXES just seem to have the better positioning each time, and they're forcing ChampsOD to fight a rough fight, and it starts with the flashbang placement. You see here, Pains, he's dropping it into that little alcove there, and he's first one in. As long as he gets that, well, that's not a great shot by Bouncers, but if he gets that flashbang down, it's pretty much free reign into that cubby hole, if he can find his way into there. But this time around, team kill comes through, changes the odds. ChampsOD are going to leave that down there, and they're going to rotate round towards both hills. The E hill will go their way, the neutral will get decapped, and drop shots going out. Should get a couple of kills coming through, and that's going to be the domination coming through.
Nice.
A 3-2 game now, and finally ChampsOD, they break that deadlock up at the cinema. They manage to find their way to win.
Very nicely done by ChampsOD. Making things a lot more interesting here. I think it's just the fact that that fight's obviously swung over towards them, towards Cinema. It makes things a little bit more interesting. Shot going to go down now. But ChampsOD, EXES will get a hold of theirs as well. Obviously not much being invested towards the bandstand side of the map. There's not really much is going on over there at the moment in time. I wonder if we'll see a big drop over towards bandstand, potentially through, but it's all about this fight over towards the cinema once again.
Yeah, it's just so crucial. And you saw this time around, both teams opting for those grenades, but incendiaries on the side of EXES go for that kill pressure, whereas zoning power on the side of ChampsOD will be their choice of grenade. You can see Incens are going to come out on top this time around as Bouncers connects. Really good shot. The drop shot, not great, but does enough just to force PhantomT into a rough spot here, and you can see the down's going to come through there. Jack's going to go.
Right, he's big.
His teammate have to run off as well. Crisis already pressuring on the E side of things. Doesn't quite know that he's got a couple, but there's that drop shot coming round, and he heard it. He called it. PhantomT in a rough spot here. Nice play here across the board from EXES. The positioning is fantastic. The shots are on point, and Payne just somehow let someone slip the net, but it's not going to matter. We are going to go to 3-3.
Nicely done by EXES Esport. It is literally whoever gets a hold of the drop is winning the rounds. That has really been the win condition with the past, well, 4 rounds, I think. We'll continue. I wonder if anyone's going to drop anything at Bandstand to try and take away the necessity to win that fight up towards Cinema. Not going to go in on the Incend. It's going to make things easier, at least on one side.
No one going to go collect them, though. The mid-fight's going to stay the same here. Incend's blocked out. Shocks on one side, but the flashbang's so far, so late, sorry, that the flashbangs are so far across that no one can really get anywhere near it. And look at the drop shot coming out again. Cleanup crew, EXES will start to try and pick up these kills. One drop shot used, Pains is going to go down, but a free revive should come in here as there's no pressure whatsoever from PhantomT there. All coming out the respawn. This time around, though, PhantomT hanging onto the E-hill. I was about to say Hydra to do well here just to get out and play his life for a second, but not able to. Good kills coming through from EXES, and the bandstand fight will continue here as seen a 2v1 coming through. Pains takes a chunk from his own teammate there, and actually this is good play by PhantomT. They've kind of caught a little bit of a choke point coming through. And Phelpsy doing work in the bandstand. Not having honestly the best of games after his first 2 rounds, and he was what, like 6-1 in the first round or so. 9-4 and 10 now. Slowed down a little bit, yeah. And that's just because he's really that first man, isn't he? Really up at the cinema, and it's difficult for him. Sorry, no, he's playing middle. Sorry, it's difficult for him to pick up kills. But it is what it is right now. PhantomT, PhantomT, EXES Esports, both pretty much bang even on points. Look at it. It's all about this E-hill now, and it's all about finding that opening kill here.
A slight tick, of course, over towards the side of PhantomT. Very slight.
And they've got the position in the middle as well. You can see number 7 on that minimap there, Crazed. He's just inside this little pocket here, and this is a real strong hold here because you can kind of flank up both ways, but actually EXES, they've managed to play on it here. PhantomT not quite in sync with one another, and EXES, they made the play, but Crisis should go down here, and it looks like they've done enough to defend as actually kills being traded back and forth. 3 dead on the side of EXES, but little bounces with this move over towards the home hills is going to nullify everything, and that's enough. That's going to be enough just to turn the tables. Drop shot on one side, but Bouncer's doing as much as he can to be a nuisance here on the opposite side.
Gonna fall. That pressure coming through though, mate. Allow EXES to do something over towards E, and it does. That should be locked in. But looking over towards D, that's where things are going to be interesting. But Pains and the Secret Man in an awkward little spot. It's going to come through here, but has to be careful and needs to maybe try and survive as quickly or as best as he can, I should say, before Crimson gets up there. But Pains will be dropped immediately, and EXES Esports have lost quite a bit for this, but the fight over towards D is won, and they will get a hold of their home hill. But PhantomT will now transition over towards E. It's just ring around the roses here, Fruit.
It really is, and that's the name of the game, isn't it? That's escalation. Out-rotate, out-slay. Good kills coming through from Jack. A bit more like it from him. We've not really mentioned Jack's name all that much in this series, and it's a shame, because usually he's one of those players, isn't he?
Yeah, I haven't mentioned his name much in the Open Series, to be honest with you. He doesn't seem to have hit the level he did in Pro League, but that was a different kettle of fish, of course.
It is.
And he was really towards the top end, but this is one win condition of 10 seconds. We need to see EXES at least decap something here. They momentarily had a lead, but this is now becoming a little bit impossible. Pains has to jump in. His teammate is there to help him, but not quick enough. It's going to be PhantomT on map point, and who thought we would have been here, considering what we've seen in map number 1. 4-3 now. 1 round away from sending us to map number 3 here, Fruit.
Yeah, and you know what? All credit to them. They've turned it up a notch for sure. They're managing to find a way just to kind of hang in some rounds, to be honest with you. And they've also stopped the pain train, so to speak, over at the cinema. He's not really done all that much the last couple of rounds. Disable's coming in this time around, though. You've got to remember, last time EXES didn't have that incend, and the shot grenade was in the hand of PhantomT, whereas this time around it's the opposite way round. We have an incend on the blue side, and nothing in the hands of the red team here. So this should mean that EXES come out with this drop shot in hand. If they're able to get in there, if they're able to stop this early pressure from PhantomT, and you bet they'll be pushing across, they should be able to get it. There's the incend coming through. Bouncer's very good with those. Payne's trying to get the 2-piece in, he does. Shades of Gears 2 there. And there's the wrap shot, just for good measure. I said they were stopping the pain train. Well, it's left the station once again. He's over on the home hill. The E-hill's the last hill available, and the decap's going to be brought in now, and Crimson's calling for a little bit of help in mid. You can see they're not going to go for this 3-cap this time around. They're going to play their lives. They're going to stay alive, go for the neutral setup, and try and get a bit of a point lead going here.
Yep. Happy to lock this one in. As far as I was aware, though, I don't think that... Did Phelps manage to backpack that drop? I'm not too sure. I'm curious.
I mean, I can't see it on any of the cards. So he must have...
I know, that's what I'm saying.
He must have got rid of it, yep.
No. Well, nonetheless, control of bandstand does belong to PhantomT, sorry, control of cinema. But the win condition belongs to EXES, and that's what they need. Realistically, 70 seconds until they can lock this one in. Any time yet. Now Payne's put the shots down. There's a big push from PhantomT. He's going to come through the middle. They're just trying to ignore Payne's putting bullets down behind them. Maybe not an advised tactic, as plenty of members of PhantomT do go down. If you're EXES here, do you make the push and do you continue to put the Payne down? I'd imagine that is going to be the case, but looking at Payne's struggling to deal with Jack, but Crimson's is there to help him against his old teammate. Fight's going to be one over towards Cinema as well. EXES Esports can just tighten their grip on the map here.
You know what? A little bit of, in my opinion, a little bit of a mistake there from EXES. I think they could have got the domination in much quicker.
Yeah.
They spent so much time down in the cinema where realistically they just needed to sit one back, so they didn't get pushed immediately in that 1v1 and then rotate the other one round towards the D hill. They could have at least got the decap, but does it really matter when you're 100 points up? I don't think it does. Hydron says it might as he gets that first kill, but the timer is ticking. 10 seconds on the clock here, and a real good defense from EXES is going to probably take this to a round 9. I say that though, the hills are getting decaps, and maybe I spoke too soon. The drop shot's taken as well. Crimson's down here. There is nothing to be able to clean this one up, I don't think. We are going to see it. We're going to see that round 9 as EXES Esports are going to lock it in.
Round number 9 then. Not necessarily too expected, I would say. Considering what we've seen in, of course, the previous map. It's a surprise to see us all the way here. I think, you know, at the beginning of the series, we were expecting a relatively close game, but I think if you're EXES, you want to get this one done and dusted as we head into the final against, I would presume, highly rated once again. They want to make sure that they can lock that one in. Here we go, round number 9. The drop shot is being given a little bit of a boost of ammo. This will become even more important. Flash is going to go out. Payne's can't quite make the push here. Smokes is what's put him off, actually. Helps he may have a free run through, but shot grenade just about slowing that one down. Payne's lingering. That's a good incend from bounces. Phelps, he gets caught out. Needs a little bit of cover here, Payne, so he can get a hold of it around the corner. The revive is coming through, and they may just get out with this one, but the aggression's starting to come through from the other side of things. PhantomT finding the kills. They could really do with getting rid of Crazed here. They do. Now before he drops bounces, drop shot out well played by Paynes. Not really sure who's won this initial. It's still ongoing. Hydron here. He's going to take a lot of shots out, though, and he will fall eventually. It looks like EXES just about win that initial fight.
Yeah, just about, and you know what? They were the first one dead, which meant they were the first one over towards the E-hill, so even if that had lingered a little bit more, that fight, they would have got that neutral control earlier, and 3 shots in the drop shot as well. He might kill his own team here. Nope, perfectly placed. I take it back. There's the kill. There's the round, and it's going to be EXES Esports in the grand final.
Well, there we go. They're there once again. GG's all around, especially in map number 2. Map number 1 was a whitewash, but EXES will find themselves in the grand final once again. And it makes things very, very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm assuming you saw what I saw.
Yep.
But
yeah,
we'll leave that one to the players to discuss. As yeah, fantastic performance there. Honestly, EXES, they were run to the wire in that map. You have to say it. Yeah. Champs OD, they had all the possibility in the world, and they had to come from behind at EXES to win that one. So, you know, I think credit where it's due. Champs OD did not look good that first map. But the second map, they absolutely did look like contenders, and more of that, please, in the finals will be exactly what we want.
But that's what we want to see. We're just sort of, you know, let the team sort of tick in a couple of weeks of playing together again, and then maybe we'll see something during the finals. But they're definitely going to be a team to watch come next week, of course. Double elimination, so, you know, they've got the chances to go on through, and they will get better as more games start to come their way. So they could be an interesting prospect heading into the final, of course, next week. But it is the final week of the standard Open Series this week, and we have the grand final coming up next. Don't go anywhere. That will be arriving soon as all the teams are there. We'll see you for it. Grand final up Welcome to the grand final of week number 10, and this is as well far as we go, as far as the regular Open Series goes. We, of course, have the finals next week as well, but I do believe we are ready to get into this game. Highly rated against EXES Esports once again, and they've decided to restart the lobby. Hilarious. Through, are you here, my friend? Hi, mate.
You alright?
You alright?
I'm alright. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm all good.
Yeah,
Why would you ever
fine,
ask such a thing?
It's
Yeah.
great
I'm good. I saw we were just about to load into Asylum, and then we
Unfortunately, it
got
didn't happen. Okay, well, it unfortunately didn't happen, but they have started again, so we will be ready to load into this one. But grand finals through here, we go highly rated taking on EXES Esports. Is the same as what we seen last week, but what we seen last week wasn't what we seen every week previous to that in the last 7, which was highly rated winning. Of course, EXES Esports came through, won that one 2-0. What are we expecting here, though? I mean, for me, I think you have to look at highly rated and sort of say, right, okay, yeah, they're going to be cracking on here. They're going to be putting the practice in during the week. They want the title back, so to speak.
Yeah, they will absolutely want the title back. You can bet your bottom dollar basically on the fact that they will absolutely be trying their best to come back against a very strong EXES team and try and take this title back from them, because they will absolutely have wanted to go 8 unbeaten and they weren't able to do that. So they'll want to finish week 10 here with a victory. I think highly rated, they should be able to do it, but from what we've seen from EXES today, they look fantastic as well. So I think it's going to be a really close final again, and hopefully we see that map 3 and we see some round 9s, and both these teams can showcase what European Gears is all about.
Well, Slap's actually on the roster for highly rated this week, which is obviously a little bit of a change up, but I presume that is down to necessity rather than anything else. We can see which way this one's starting, looking like beat is going to go over towards highly rated.
Pretty simple start really from both teams. Could start from highly rated just to get control of the B hill, but EXES pretty strong setup up top, to be honest with you. They immediately went and sat up and just said, we'll fight that 2v2 if we need to. So good work there. Marsh getting that first kill as well on Crisis will open things up in this next stage of play, and now they're going to push forward a highly rated, trying to find some damage on Crimson's Dragon. Will not be able to find their back 8.
Nothing coming through yet for him. Slaps though, doing a decent job and will continue to push forward. Keeps pushing forward as well, and Crisis can have to back on down here. Just been told that, actually I didn't even realise that Slaps is in here on a permanent basis through. Look, I'm behind the times, I didn't see the drama. Strikers dropped. Highly rated, clearly not liking losing that 1 week that they lost.
Yeah, I think if that's the reaction, purely because of that, then that's, in my opinion, a little bit of a knee-jerk, but I don't know, Slaps is a good player, right? He's one of those players that we've been keeping an eye on for a while now, and he's never really had a shot at the top level, but he's been performing definitely ever so slightly below that. So yeah, I mean, good pickup. We'll see what he's about. I think, to be honest, I could have played on this roster, and I'd have also looked good. So it's a very easy team to slot into when you've got those 3 players around you in Dragons, Cougars, and Marsh. But to be honest, Slaps, he should be able to hold his own, especially in these grand finals against opponents that are equally as good.
Absolutely. Let's see if he can continue to do so, because it's been so good so far, but things have been changed around here. EXES Esports looking to get a hold of B, and they need to stop highly rated getting any points on the board, though, so they're kind of just leaving things behind here because they do need to decap A. Slaps and Co. locking down the bridge side. Marsh with some good crossfire coming in. EXES trying to make this push coming on through now. Marsh is going to be dropped in there. I'm just going to leave him to, I mean, if your pin's there, you can just leave him. Start pushing forward. Here we go. They need to get the decap in the next 8 seconds or so. Crisis finds 2. That's massive from EXES Esports. They'll lock in the point. They find the kill up top bridge. That will be a domination just about in the final few seconds. EXES Esports strike first.
Very close round. Good round there from both teams. But you're right, EXES, they get that first round on the board, and that is really kind of crucial. We saw what Momentum can do in the previous games we've watched, and EXES, they can absolutely run with it. They look so good on this map earlier. And you know what? This is 6 in a row in terms of rounds for them now on Asylum. So we'll see if they can make it 7 as the Boltox are placed on that bottom side.
It must be a scary prospect for highly rated coming into this one after they watched EXES just completely dismantle OD champs. Although I suppose, they'd be looking at that and sort of saying, nah, we could do better than that. So far, so good for EXES Esports, though, of course, early on in the game. Nobody able to make the push for B just yet. Plenty of time left in the round here, though, for
Plenty of time, you're right. Those hills being capped at the start as well now, you get that perfect draw condition. So both teams will have to try and make a play here, and I kind of like that. It's the subtlety of these home hills being capped, but you don't have to worry about that slight tick advantage anymore. Or rather, you're forced to make the play, right?
Yeah, exactly. You have to make sure you try and do something. I mean, we didn't see it influence that much, I suppose, but I suppose it made it. Oh my God, Marsh! It made it to the point of where, obviously, if that win condition was there for one team, they didn't have to make the move, and I think that's just all it sort of forced that the engagements had to be reactive from the team we're behind, but we don't have that anymore, thankfully. Nobody able to really establish much control here. It's a big kill from Marsh, though, as he was the only one left alive momentarily here. Trying his best to survive, but will drop. On 2 kills over there, though, so really good work. That domination is ticking. Bouncers has to back on down. Slaps just denying the domination for just a second, but the shot's going to be coming in, and here comes the attack once again from EXES Esports. Fantastic stuff from them, and Bounces is still going. That's multiple kills for him, and that's another domination for EXES. My goodness, Bounces. Mate, we flipped camera feeds for just a second. Didn't see the fact that he just dropped multiple kills. Fantastic from him. 2-0 to EXES now.
Yeah, it's looking good, isn't it? Looking real good. And Bouncers, he got a lot of love in the Control tournament yesterday, and he's looking real good in this Escalation one as well here today. Always been a very influential player when he gets going, right? He can really start to snowball rounds, like any player really at this level. But Bouncers definitely one that kind of flew under the radar a little bit until this Maradona squad formed and showed up on that first week, and well, doing it against the best here, against highly rated as well.
Not a bad place to start doing it. Here we go, into round number 3. EXES Esport quite happy to take these first 2 rounds. The first one was clutched up, the second, very much a methodical process on the way through, but clutched it when they needed to. Now making the push here if you're highly rated to try and get control of B. What Slaps can do on this squad. Trying to get aggressive. Crisis now will run into his gunfire. Can he find the second as well? Looking for the wrap. Can't quite find it. Can Marsh clean this one up? Who better for Slaps to learn off, right? Marsh, we'll see. Such a storied veteran of the EU gear scene by this point now. Really has led the charge for teams who went up against Elevate, who were in control after he left that squad. And has been a big part of the top teams so far in Europe since then. Dragons, though, can he... heating up here a little bit. That's 3 kills to 5 deaths now for Dragons, but he will help his teammate get a hold of B here. Highly rated, looking to get some score on the board here for it.
Yeah, they need to, don't they, really? They can't let EXES go 3-0 up.
No.
That's for sure. And you know what? They got neutral control. Need to get some kills here. Pain's falling would be good for them, and it is Cougars that manages to get that kill, but he's going to get pressured as well here. You should be able to get a kill. I say that. He just couldn't get that reload in on time, and you see again, that man bounces, makes him pay. Decap on the B hill will go towards EXES, and now we've got to look at how they set up on this map. You can see they've got 2 towards the B side. No one middle just yet, but that member, Crisis off spawn, will fill in that gap. Good kill on the tracks here. Crimson's taken out his old duo, Marsh. You've got to remember, they played together for a long, long time.
Something to happen these two now as EXES one's in control. Slap starting to make this push over towards C. He does have Cougars in tow as well, but he was this come around behind. It's going to be Pins, and that's 3 for him. Big plays out of Pins, and now he pushes forward. Oh, good shots onto Marsh as well, who should fall anyway. Good trades out. This is looking like another domination going to tick in here for EXES with Dragons. The upbeat comes through for him, but that domination is going to tick in. Oh my god, Bouncers is just blocked, slaps at the door. He's standing there like a bouncer. You will not enter, mate. No ID, no entry.
No ID, no entry. Indeed, a 3-0 now. What's that? 8 in a row. We're keeping track of this. Asylum just seems to be EXES's map. They're so good at it. Doesn't matter really what's been played. This is, you know, super kind of casual in terms of the drops going down. No one's even upgraded fully yet. And you can see that retro going up on the top side there is forcing highly rated to have to match it, because you bet that there will be a big weapon up there if they get a huge advantage on one of the side lanes. So highly rated forced into making a bolt placement up on that C hill. Boltox and retros all around now. You can see every single weapon being picked up so far. Pains is the first one into the cut here. He's going to get chased in by Slaps. Can Slaps find that kill, though? That's the question. He will get the down. Crisis right behind him. Slaps now was offered the chance to get a double kill, but in the end, Crisis will trade 1 for 1. Marsh will leave that down, but that will be a kill that will bleed out. You see it there, bottom left of your screen, and that means it's 2 for 1 trade in highly rated's favor. They get the B hill. They've got that middle control now, and you can see on the bottom of the screen there, at the bottom of the minimap, Marsh was just looking up top, trying to get some retro damage down on anyone who pushed up over the top hill in the end. We do see EXES kind of come back down here. They've got those flashbangs off the spawn, and Slaps is running amok here, actually, as he gets 2. Good crossfire coming through, and Marsh, collapse is perfect. This is great. This should be a round for highly rated. Little Bouncers, though, has something to say about it.
He's clutched up. Finds the kill, but the overextension going to come through. Bouncers will deny the domination. A couldn't be capped up either, so EXES will survive nonetheless. No matter what happens now. Highly rated will take a good chunk of points away from EXES as they get nothing. A 50-point game. Still a lot of gears to play, though. EXES make it 4-0, that would be something. And maybe we are staring at now the current best team in Europe in EXES. If we can find 2 weeks in a row heading into the split finals, then that puts them in such a good spot. But as we said, highly rated, it'll take them some time to get used to playing with Slaps, I would imagine. It's taking them some time to get used to playing in this map specifically. 3-0. Very much looking like it will be 3-1 now, but a domination could tick in at any second. Cog team win condition of 30 seconds. Slaps going up against Pains, who's going to come out on top. It's a big 1v1. Slaps, oh, that knife had landed, then you're looking good, but he will clean it up eventually. Their damage was enough. Domination is ticking 3-2 and 1. That one is in, and highly rated will get on the board.
A much better round from them, stemming from that control they had on the track side, really. Good opening, good initial. Slaps did a lot of work that round as well. A couple of double kills coming out. Lots of damage getting put down.
See if we can continue it. This team's still 3-1 down. Curious to see how things maybe change up now as the half comes through. Of course, the middle point moving up to entrance. Is that going to affect things in this game? Voltox picked up either side. Hunter's looking to try and get some shots in, but E very much gonna have to be coming down to your team shooting in, of course, and making sure you find those opening kills. It's really just going to be the shock that Crimson's has got to play with here. Cougars is there, and he may just use it to block him off, to be honest with you.
Potentially so.
That's it. Yep.
It's a difficult one, a little bit slow this round. There's not really much to force the fight for, and this is the first time we've really seen it kind of settle down to be this slow. Both teams kind of worried about what those grenades can do. Out goes the shock. There should be a cap here for EXES coming in. Incen's going to go out. It's not going to connect, but I say that. It does tick away, and it does get 2 kills, so I take it all back. Cougars knows what he's doing with that Incend, and it was actually the damage from the Lancer, really, that helped for them find those 2 kills, and Bouncers now will get picked up by his teammate off the spawn. Flashbangs are out. The pressure is on from highly rated.
Just starting to come in. F now under their control as well. Crisis and buried, but not quite ticking in yet as EXES fighting out from the back. Dragons will be dropped and teammates will be up as well. That's very, very well played, but what have they lost for it? Highly rated. Getting some more points on the board now. Win condition is about a minute. It's in from Slaps. Has to bike down. Crisis doing his best to keep them away, and EXES Esports have really implemented their will over towards E. That flash is good as well. It might just force them away, but Payne's going to take some bullets. Has to back on down. Big fight going to go on towards E here now as the first bullet's going to be dropped. That's going to be Crimson's, and here come the rest of them as well. Just following on through the numbers advantage. Very, very well played, but it is. Bounces all the way over towards D. Stop the triple cap coming on through. They would have threatened and send, slow down Crimson's, but not enough. And actually Cougars who finds the fight over towards D, and everything seemingly going in the favor momentarily of highly rated, but still, after all of this, it's only a 20-point lead for it. It feels like they've had control for ages at this point.
It does. It does. I mean, that's just testament to those extensions, right? Those rotations coming in from bouncers there and getting that decap on the home. It's really is, you know, it just derails the amount of points you get in so much when you're losing your home. You have to go back, collect it, come back. Like it really is annoying, to be honest with you. But that's the mark of a good home hill player. Saying that though, the rest of the team, highly rated, seem to be able to pick up that slack on the other side. Slaps. He's going to trade up out, and this is going to be highly rated second round of the map. And EXES now losing a couple. So we've got a closer game.
Seems that way. 3-2 now. Very much a game on our hands. I said highly rated. 2 rounds here. Nothing changing up in terms of mid drops. Imagine we're going to see something potentially coming towards the end of the game. Oh, we might see a team maybe block it out. Stop it from happening. But we have seen different mid drops this week for, of course.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And the mid drops they're kind of crucial, right? I mean, teams have been practicing these, obviously. Some have worked, some haven't. But this is really their last time to practice things in a tournament setting, right? And see how teams adapt to it. So, no doubt, things will carry on iterating through in scrims, but tournament play is definitely a different beast. And see right now, EXES seem being a little bit of a good spot here as they've got the damage down, but Crisis is going to fall, and that's just unlucky there, but the shock grenade is going to do just enough to get the damage down. And we are going to see a couple of kills coming through for Crimson's now. Looking for his third on his next potential kill is Dragons. He's going to fall, and they will snowball. They will roll through. Slaps sitting back a little bit here. This is a good position for him as he's waiting for his teammates to come off spawn, and I think EXES, it's going to be a tricky one for them to manage. They might just sit and keep the pressure on here and just keep those points ticking.
Yeah, this will be a big round to get a hold of as well, though, to stop the bleeding here through. Dragon's going to be the first to go down as well. Will they use their number advantage? If they could have gotten rid of Marsh there, that would have been massive. It seems as if they're trying to make a push over towards E if they can highly rate it, but they've got to concentrate on what's going on their home hill. Looks as if Slaps is going to defend well. Domination will start ticking in a second. Although the E hill is where it is going down. Marsh needs to win this fight. That's massive from him. Keeps his team in the round as E starts to go their way as well. Payne's the only one here to really do anything about it. We could have tried to back down towards E there, but in the end will fall. That's a huge moment from Marsh.
Yeah, huge indeed. The 1v1 is crucial there. I mean, you know what? His team did all right at the end on the F hill, but
oh yeah,
if he hadn't have won that, his team would have been overwhelmed. There'd been an extra player down there, and I think that probably would have been round over. EXES Esports, they are 170 points to 120, so 50 points up at the moment. COG team do have the win condition. Eventually that will tick over to highly rated's win condition. But quite honestly, the decap will be enough. And EXES, they just need to keep this neutral under some kind of control. Doesn't need to be capped, just needs to be kept hold of and make sure that highly rated don't set up with a really strong 2-hill hole. But look at the bottom side.
E, yeah.
D-hill.
Push going to be coming in.
Someone slipped the net. Marsh is going to fall there, and Dragons has managed to get one as well. Slaps doing his best in this 2v1 there. Not able to get anything, but the home hills is really where the attention is put here from highly rated. They're doing their best just to try and find this kill on bounces.
Oh, they didn't quite lock in D either. So a wasted opportunity potentially now as the overextension going to start coming through. EXES in the lead, and then they're going to lock in the 2-cap here as well. 20-second win condition. Marsh has to kind of go for this. Already very red. The crossfire coming in from bounces in the mid-map is massive. Don't think this will be enough. Even if they did manage to get a hold of E, it has to be one final push over towards D. That win condition still with the Swarm side. Bounces now is going to trade that out, and that might be enough. 6 seconds to go. Marsh pushing over is going to be dropped. That is the round to EXES. 4-2 now. 1 round away from going 1-0 up here.
Good performance. Really good performance. Held on to it as well, where highly rated were clutching up halfway through. Question is now, what do highly rated do? Do they place a weapon down? Do they start to force something perhaps on the track side? They were doing all right in the first half. I mean, it's a difficult fight, to be honest. EXES are proficient on both, and they have those incendiaries down there now. The shock is going to go up. They've got to match it, really. Things are all even as we go into this next round. Potentially map point here for EXES.
There we go then. Let's see if EXES can close this one out now. Big push coming in over towards E from highly rated. EXES quite happy to let them make that push. That shot grenade will be too late. Ultimately, that's going to work out in highly rated's favor. EXES Esports very slow to the uptake there over towards E.
Very slow. Yeah, that was tremendously slow. I'm really not sure what was going on there, but they took a long time, and the shot grenade that went down as well was just slightly off. And you saw Dragons, he looked at it, he saw the epicenter of that shot grenade, and he realized that he was absolutely fine just to stand there and get the cap. No problem whatsoever. Gonna make it very difficult now for EXES to start to push back on this, because they got to worry about that incendiary. Bad incend actually coming through there. I said that again, but honestly, this time it really wasn't that great. There was someone in cut, that's an easy kill, and now his team are going to pay for it, as you can see. Push is going to come through. Actually, a big kill coming through from Slaps. Now Crimson's, can he do anything more about it? No, not able to get Cougars there, and his teammate managed to get out as well. So good play by highly rated in the end. They're going to lock in that E-hill. Now they're looking for a kill down here on the track side of things. Bounces once again on that home hill, just being a pain, using the flashbang just to get himself a little bit more time. And now he's going to try and take this 1v1 against Slaps.
Oh, that would have been so close. Slaps very, very weak. In the end, we'll just about get the kill locked in. It's distracted enough for EXES to get a hold of E here. Plenty of utility on its way over. Flash in. Maybe slow this push down. This is just shooting and swinging in the dark, if anything. That's now broken for highly rated. Good spot for them to be in. Slaps is going to drop though, so here comes the push from EXES, you would imagine. Which way is it going to go though? It's over towards Marsh, who finds 3. I think Pains was already down, but 2 very, very quick kills from Marsh. And now it's the push over towards F. It is going to be Bounces, the only one to defend. Highly rated, trying to get back into this game here. This will be 4-3.
Oh dear.
Marsh doesn't find it. He tried to bait him in with it. And that should be Bounces up and running. But still highly rated in a good spot in this round.
Crisis mission.
Oh,
that's questionable right there. That really is questionable, but highly rated seem to have done enough so far to hold on to this.
Looking that way.
Shot grenade's going to come down up top. Got to look towards the D hill, but no one really in a position just yet. 10 seconds on the clock. You can see the red is closing in, but yeah, no one's going to get there.
They're not going to get there in time. Nope, not quite. So 4-3 now. Can EXES close it out here, or are we heading to round number 9? Anything drastic?
It's going to be the disables, isn't it, by the looks of things?
Yep. Are we going to come through on the either side as well to even things up? And here we go. Which way does this fight up top go this time? It has to be said, EXES really did let highly rated just through far too easily. That's not a fantastic insend either from either side, really. It's not going to find a great deal. Payne's down in the corner, and well played by Slaps. Oh, there you go. That's why you pick them up. 3 huge kills up top, and highly rated have the wind in their sails now with a push over towards D.
Yeah, that was lovely, wasn't it? That really was good. Definitely can play. I mean, we've said, haven't we, that he's got the skill at this level. It's just whether he can slot into a team, and he has so far. He's looked real good. Highly rated. They're going to dominate. We're going to go to that round 9. Who'd have thought it? 3-0 up. EXES were looking fantastic, weren't they? And highly rated all the way back now. 4-4. I'm not sure who's going to take this one, to be honest with you. It's going to be interesting to see where the weapon placements go now those blocks are out the way.
Yeah, where is it going to go? Yeah, all right, the way I think something like the marks are probably going to go down, isn't it? Yeah. Nothing crazy from the side of Marsh. Do EXES want to change anything up here? No, is the answer to that question. So here we go then. All the way to round number 9, thanks to a big play from Slaps. Smoke going to come on through, and the aggression comes through as well. Oh, neither team want to step up, and well, it is actually highly rated. The first one's there. Shock on the backside of things is not going to quite keep them off it either. Dragons will lock it in. Initial control goes over towards highly rated.
Yeah, a couple of pretty questionable grenades from EXES, to be honest with you. Shock was far too to the left. The incend wasn't quite placed correctly on that back left cover, and Cougar's just able to get out scot-free. Marks are in the hand as well. Sat in the cubby, that's an interesting one. Means that anyone popping up in the middle, they're going to get their head popped, really, if Dragons' shots are on point. They can't really pressure too difficult now. You see the push coming up as Dragons is going to back off. Something interesting that highly rated did as well is they swapped their tracks player and their mid player around so they could bring that second flashbang up top. Help with the defense there. Payne's pushing through here. He has been spotted out, though, and Dragons can get those headshots over the top. Look for the headshot. He's found the down. That's going to be a move really going to come through now from highly rated. They have to push up a little bit as they've got those downs. You can see the kills coming through here, Chris. That slaps on 2. They're going to make their way towards the home hill. Bouncers has to do something about it. He's got the damage down on Marsh. He just needs to find the kill now, but that Markser is doing so much.
Highly rated, but 3-0 down here. EXES just trying to hold on. Crisis has done well to maybe deny this for a little bit longer, but is it going to be long enough? Crimson's gets in with the crawl. That's going to be it. Highly rated come back from 3-0 down to win 5-4. That's a big map number 1, and it is going to go over towards the side of highly rated. Big plays from Slaps to keep them in it as well. Massive map for them to take.
Huge map, and you got to look at that second half, haven't you? If you're EXES Esports, they looked good that first half, 3 in a row to start the map off. They looked real strong, and you know what? Against their previous opponent as well, they looked strong in the first half as well, but we didn't get to see that much of them in the second half just because it ended so quickly, right? But this time around, they have to go all the distance, and honestly, the second half, it looked shaky. Their up-top play wasn't great. And maybe that's a sign of why that drop shot went down into the middle and why they were so good at that, because they're better at the trackside. They're better at that mid-fight than they are up top.
Yeah, potentially. So there you go, Asylum going over towards highly rated. But we were expecting a close game in this one. And so far, so good. Of course, round number 9 is what decided it. Heading into map number 2, though, I'm curious to what it is going to be. We'll find out as soon as we can. It's going to be Vanscott. Okay, so, I mean, last week we seen EXES take this one fairly hand. Actually, no, it was around number 9. It was around number 9, if I remember correctly. Either that or 5-3. But nonetheless, it was a very close game. Let's see if it's going to be that way again. What do you think, Vanscott? Obviously, as mentioned, last week we've seen it go over towards EXES, but this week Slaps on board. Do you think that's going to make enough of a difference for the side of highly rated? It's hard to say.
honestly, Slaps is, he looked good in that game. He stepped up. He made some big plays. He kind of brought his team out from a pretty rough spot as well, and comes up with a huge triple kill as well to help seal around. So I think Slaps, if you're questioning whether or not he's going to be the X factor going into this map, probably not. But do I think this team are equally as good with Slaps? Yeah, absolutely. And if it was close last week, then it's going to be close this week, and I think they've got every chance of winning.
Yeah, well, let's see. We're going to be loading in just a second. But just remind you all watching at home, of course, the season finals will be coming up next week. It is over Saturday, Sunday, double elimination. Best out of three all the way through kind of vibe. So make sure you do get involved. Of course, it's a big reason as to why we're doing the Open Series is to lead into the finals. Of course, $2,500 on the line in each region. So Europe and South America, if you guys are watching, of course, whatever time of the day it is over there at this moment in time. But I super excited to get involved in the Open Series finals, and it's going to be exciting to have a big tournament again for.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. Honestly, a 2-day tournament, fantastic. It's like lands of old. And also, you got to look at that double elim for teams that are, coming up into the Open Series and getting some rough kind of matchups in that first round because of your seeding and just how late you got into it. Different ball game in the final. You've got 2 lives. You've got 2 chances. And that losers bracket, that's going to be a fight. It's going to be a real scrappy run through for whichever team comes through. And you know what? Those round 1 teams, there are some good talent going out in round 1, round 2 of these Open Series tournaments that are going to get extra breaths of fresh air as they go through that loser bracket. So yeah, absolutely looking forward to it. I can't wait to get into it next week. But we got to finish off this one today. And I just heard that Vascar is about to get underway.
Yeah, I'm very excited to jump into Vasgar, but very excited for next week as well. I said we will be here on the Sunday all day for you guys to tune in to what's going on towards the latter stages of the tournament. We are only doing it because I know you and Toby wanted to play, and it was like, you know what, we'll let them jump in, get double first rounded, and then of course you can get your rightful place up on the casting desk, mate.
I mean, wherever I end up, I'll enjoy it. I'm sure it's always good getting into these big tournaments. It feels a little bit
as
more
much
real.
As Toby does.
Toby. He might do well. Who knows? I don't know. We might not have any casters on the second day. We might be ton alone.
I doubt that.
I doubt that as well.
Heading into this though, Vasgar, it's on the line for EXES Esports. Or will these two trade different weeks of Open Series wins? Of course, last week it was EXES first. Well, I say that obviously as Maradona, they won it, but without Crimsons in week number 1. However, stemming all the way to week number 9 before they seen a win again after Highly Rated went 7 in a row. Highly Rated will want the bounce back here, and it notoriously was a very, very good map for them. Highly Rated. We've always seen them look very, very solid on this one. Last week, EXES really did have a good time of things on Vasgar. It was a big clutch moment from Crimsons that forced that round number 9, and then they win in round number 9. So Highly Rated will be looking to avenge that one, and if they do so, it'll be a 2-0 win in the grand final here. But Crimsons, nicely done, steps back, knows they're both weak, and we'll get a hold of A. Well played from him.
Really well played, and you know what? They've got that neutral hill first. That's what's important to me. You got to keep an eye on what happens with that rotation, and honestly the neutral hill, that first neutral hill is huge because you can start to dictate the play from there. One team is trying to take back that neutral or trying to take back their home, other team are already making moves to keep that 2 cap on the go. So gonna see what Highly Rated are up to. It looks like they're going towards the homes over here. This for me is an interesting push. I think it's going to be quite difficult, but it is 2v3, and EXES, have they spotted that? They have as well. You can see that Lone Ranger from EXES making their way through the middle, trying to get this flank onto the B side, but again, Highly Rated also sending someone round, and this is what I'm on about when I'm on about the kind of rotation speed and who makes that first move. You have to be ahead of the game on this map. You have to be the ones making their proactive plays, because if you're not, you're going to be a second behind, and you're always going to be in a rough spot here. Double downs coming through.
Highly Rated now going to be in control here. It will probably be a swarm win condition, or you would have thought. It hasn't quite been locked in. That's coming off the respawn was, of course, the team of EXES Esports, but now Highly Rated will jump through and get a hold of C, so that win condition will belong to them. They haven't been able to keep a hold of B here, so that's going to flip around. So all teams misstepping here and there. EXES Esports now with that win condition with the 1 cap apiece here, though, through.
Not going to matter too much. The threshold's been passed. EXES only need 1 to win at this point in time, and they're going to have 2 as well in hand. Crimson's with a big fight. Must be 99 there. Marsh is going to be kicking himself. As is Cougars there, as Pains is going to clean him up.
Pains now. Oh, we needed to hit that shot, really. It's looking like EXES are going to get on the board first. Nobody over towards B or A, and it will, of course, be around over towards EXES. 1-0 now, 3 minutes in. Well played in the end from EXES. Just rotate around nicely.
Very nicely done, and that's what they need, right? Start off strong. First weapon's going to go down. Expect Boltox on both sides. I mean, this is kind of standard procedure here. Build up towards those incendiaries early.
Standard, as mentioned. I wonder if we'll see a late resurgence from highly rated again in map number 2. Of course, this is the final week of the Open Series as we head in towards the finals this weekend coming up. Very excited to see who comes out on top. It could be one of these 2 teams. UD Champs could maybe have a late resurgence, if you like, here through. I'm not 100%. I put my mortgage on that one, but, you know, very much expecting it to be one of these 2 teams.
Yeah, you'd expect so. I mean, these are the 2 teams that have kind of proven themselves. I mean, to be fair, before Crimson's departed, the H... I can never remember the letters. HBJC.
HBJC.
They look good as well, right? They did look good, but Crimson's kind of seemed to be that peg that held that all together, and they've not been looking fantastic since he left, and honestly, what is now this EXES Esports team is looking fantastic, and then just like that, COG domination, 2-0 up once again.
Yep, looking very, very good for them at this moment in time on Vasgar. Which, for me, it's a bit of a surprise, just because, I mean, look, how many times have we seen highly rated go on to win this map? But
yeah,
moment in time, it's not looking great for them. But at the same time, we did see EXES take a 3-0 lead in map number 1 for it.
Yeah, I mean, it just really depends on whether or not they can hang through it, right? The games are going to be a bit longer here for EXES against this team. They have to be able to find those rounds in the second half, and if you're that good at the first half of maps, you know, like this team will run through the majority of teams they practice against, right? They probably win most of their scrim maps 5-1, 5-2. They probably don't get as much practice as most other teams on the second half, just purely because they're so dominant on the first half. So it's interesting to me to see which teams have actually, you know, gone through and put the work in on the second side. And highly rated, they absolutely did do that on the previous map, right? They were much better on the second half than EXES were.
Answer's trying to survive here. Both teams not necessarily in any particular spot to do something here. Looks like the B push is going to come through from EXES in a second. Ounce is maybe just trying to slow things down here, but Pains is going to catch Marsh with his pants down. And a push over towards Dragons will come through, but B will be locked in. Pains has done well to just survive here. Dragons should be dead. Can't land the shot. Can he be saved by his teammate? Not looking likely, but the domination may take in anyway here. Push over towards C from Crimson's. He's not going to solidify that one and will just rotate himself back around here. Good start to the round from EXES.
Cougar's having to hightail it. I think he's going to get caught out wherever he goes. If Crisis just turns around for a second, doesn't even need to. Crimson's good pistol coming through there. Payne's in a rough spot. He's going to get 2v1. He's got a little bit of backup, but a misroll. Going to cost him his life here. Now Dragons will find the damage on Crisis, but Crisis finds a lot more on him, and that's a lovely kill coming through. Meat Shield's going to get picked up by Slaps, and this is just back and forth, isn't it? So back and forth, but while this is happening, points are ticking up for EXES. They've got that neutral. They're 50 points ahead, and that was a nice play by Crimson, as he knew he was going to trade out there. Got the guaranteed kill.
B going over to what's highly rated here. Really do need to get on the board here. EXES have been looking very, very good on Vasgar so far. Perhaps going to have to back on down. Payne's putting the shots in, and look at this Lancer player coming in from the side of EXES now. Can't quite lock it in on this cover. The shots to keep highly rated away work out just fine. They have lost B, or haven't had a hold of it for quite some time, but look at all these fights and which way they're going. Really good play from the side of highly rated. They fight their way out, and that is a domination ticking in and will tick in all of a sudden. That's going to be hard to bear if EXES. You're knocking on the door yourselves, and all of a sudden, highly rated switch it round.
Definitely a nice round there, and actually the player from highly rated making that quick rotation round to the home hill of EXES there. Just gets there so early. Doesn't give EXES time at all to come off spawn and take that home hill back. Really well played there by a highly rated.
Nice to see the chat between everybody.
Yeah.
Quite sure what that was regarding. Yeah.
Sendry's going to get built up here, and then this is kind of what I was alluding to at the start. Those ball talks come through. Incendiaries are placed down.
But then where's the push going to come through? It's a big one over towards C. So 1v1 at B as well, which will be important. Dragons, though, is just going to get baited. Pains will come around and find the one kill, and then take Dragons out on the other side. Really good start to the round here for EXES Esports, who can keep things going. They'll lock in B as well. They've got A in their control potentially too. This is a domination that may well tick in, but highly rated will get there. Cougars, first one through the front door. Bounces is going to go down, but Pains with the wrap, and then the turnaround onto Cougars as well. Very nicely done by the side of EXES. They will find themselves with a 3-1 lead, and that is a quick round on Vazcott.
Really quick round indeed. Just great kills coming through. I mean, Pains at the start there. You got to look at that initial. Yeah, he was in the usual spot, to be honest with you, but he just kept himself out of vision for so long that, you know, his opponent kind of forgot that was a risk and just turned it round. Quick double kill. Nicely played. Boltok on the other side here. That Incend will get upgraded, I'm sure, on the highly rated side here. It's going to be a shock. I mean, similar plays, really.
Yep. It's round number 5. Can EXES close this one out and set us up into map number 3? I'm going to hazard a guess in Sades District. I wonder. Could it be Exhibit?
Oh, no. It could be Exhibit. I would love it to be Exhibit, but
why
I know a few people who wouldn't.
Me?
You?
Why would you love it to be Exhibit?
Matt. Oh, Exhibit's one of my favorite maps. No, I do enjoy it, but I mean,
it's just I understand it's slow, methodical, you know, it's tactical, but I just want to see people headbutt each other. I'm not a purist like you.
I think that's the problem. No one is anymore. Everyone loves the everyone loves the headbutts. It is what it is, though. Pains. Look at this. Pains coming through. Couple of kills for him. Incendiary out. Marsh having to Scarpera. Will get picked up. Meat shield is taken here. Cougar's in a bad spot. Should get taken out, but he's doing his best, and Bounce is going to lose his head in the end. Takes 3.
Very nicely done. Enough to keep EXES in a good spot here, though. I think they're trying to fight back. I wonder if we will have a fight back here. They'll want to close this in too, ideally. This is, as said, you know, I mentioned it a couple of times now. It really used to be their playground. You used to always see it. It was just a default win for highly rated. They used to play this so well, but EXES Esport have had their number 2 weeks in a row. It looks like on this map anyways. Pains continues to go off, and they can't quite land these shots enough to get a kill coming on through here. The revive chain coming through. Can Bouncers do anything on the other side? Not quite. Highly rated will make this push over towards F. Pains the one being a nuisance in and around D, but will back down to try and help his teammates out. Oh no, he's just baiting me and Slaps apparently, but Pains now just trying to survive, trying to see if he can find something on the other side of this. Not going to happen. D going to go over towards highly rated. That scoreline belongs to EXES Esports right now, though. It's about a 60 kill, 60 point different, and Domination, is it going to come through? Just about nearly there, but Dragon's just about going to touch. Domination now starting to tick again. EXES Esports will be here after he spawned quite handily. See, Dragons doesn't really have much help, but whilst all this is going on, that time is just ticking up for him.
It is, and you know what? It's just 10 seconds. That's all they really need on this. Just delay EXES, just enough for you to tick over, and the two hills will ever so quickly overtake that point. You can see Swarm will win in 20 seconds. They've now got more points and some real good pressure coming through for highly rated here. Real good pressure indeed. Dragons should be able to get out here. Just keep his life. They're going to put pressure on our EXES, and you see the headshot coming through there. On Cougars, Dragons will fall as well. Crimson's is dead, and this is back and forth. 2 dead. On the one side, make that 3. Slaps gets up aid within an inch of his life, and the COG team now threatening all 3 hills. Just like that. It's back and forth. It's back and forth. The COG will dominate. The D hill gets decapped, but it shouldn't really matter here. A nice back A there from Bouncers will secure this round, and we're going to see this be a 4-1 lead for EXES Esports here.
Yep. Looking very, very nice on Vazgar at the moment. 4-1. 1 round away from sending us to map number 3. Got a feeling it's going to be Exhibit.
I don't know what it'll be. I don't know what it'll be. I'm sure Matt does, but he keeps it a surprise for us as well as everyone else. So. Retro Lancer being placed there, down on the left side. Are we going to see something big here from highly rated? I'm not too sure. Looks like they're just going to go for the upgrade as well. They're confident that they can come back without having to bring a big weapon into this, a big fight into this. I'm not quite sure I'm that confident, but here we go. Getting into it. EXES Esports, map point here. Trying to tie this up at 1 apiece. Grand Finals, Week 10. 1 map potentially left before the finals here, Chris. And both these teams are looking real good on their respective maps.
They are looking very good. Saying that, you know, we had a very, very close one in map number 1. This one has been far from it. Dragon's just trying to distribute these Lancer shots around in the right way. Nobody really pulling the trigger on an E push right now, though. Hard to jump onto, isn't it? The difficult one. Dragon's gonna have to back on down. Nobody able to get anything going here through. Not quite yet, anyway.
Not just yet, but you got to look out for those shot grenades coming through, and those incendiaries. You see Crimson's got it in hand. As a slap, Shock's going to go down. You can hear that in the background, and that will not connect. EXES Esports getting away scot-free. There's the push coming through. Cougars eats an incendiary, and that is going to be the go switch here for EXES. You can see them step into the ring. They're going to get the cap here on the neutral. Pains, ooh, a little bit of a misroll. Nearly rolled into the fire there. Just get out alive. And it is going to be EXES that lock in the neutral. Here's Pains on a real good position here. Should be able to get this kill. And they are going to trade out. I don't think Crisis really needed to die there for that. They had the position. Pains was getting the Lancer, and I don't know. In the end, it doesn't really matter too much. EXES they hold.
I'm ready to really need this round, though, but Pains seems to be warming up just a little bit. He is going to get taken down, but the rest of the team are here. It really does feel like EXES Esports have the wind behind their sails at the moment. Just hard to see how highly rated they're going to come back into this one. Every single round has felt like an EXES Esports round.
Yeah, they just need to chain some kills together. They also need to stop finding themselves in these 1v2. I know it's so much easier said than done against this team, don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
they are finding themselves in situations where they're having to push 1v2s, they're having to find kills like that. Realistically, I don't know, did they need to go so quickly? Could Pains have ended up in a 1v2 himself if his opposition had just waited a second? Who knows, but it doesn't really matter, because EXES Esports, against all odds, Chris, are going to try and tie this one up, and I don't think there's anything highly rated can do about it. We're going to see a 5-1 scoreline, and EXES Esports definitely are the kings of Vazgar. It's going to be a 1-1 series now. Map 3 coming up.
Well, here we go then. No better way to end it, I suppose, for the Open Series. And for the normal season. Of course, the finals coming up this weekend. And we are going to end, I said, the normal season on a map 3 between two of the best teams all the way through, and we wouldn't, as said, have it any other way. I just hope it's not Exhibit. For me, I want to see like a district, even Cheeky Harbor, maybe?
Foundation.
Like that.
Yeah,
maybe. Foundation was really good for highly rated, so I don't know if we'll see it, to be honest with you. I don't think I've seen them lose that map. But I hadn't seen them lose Vasgar until last week, so...
Yeah, there's always time, right? There's always an opposition looking to take you down, and I think EXES look great. Like, honestly, they've looked real good that last map. The first map, they absolutely could have won. This could have been a 2-0 series if they just had a little bit of a stronger second half there on Asylum. But they're looking real good. I'm surprised to be saying it, but 2 weeks in a row, we might have a back-to-back champ.
We might. It's Harbour. There we go. I'll take a Harbour. Harbour's a nice map for them. I think, last time I seen highly rated on this map was last week, where they were going up against Breaker and the boys, and they've really struggled on Harbour. I think it was a big B push coming in from Breaker and Co every single time, and highly rated just couldn't deal with it. So I'm curious to see how EXES are going to play this one. But nonetheless, I'm excited for it, to see how it is going to close out in week number 10. Which way is it going? Come on then. Give me a prediction. I don't often make
you know what? I have to go the way of EXES. To be honest, across the two maps, I think they've looked the better team, and I think overall they've been stronger on the initials. They've been winning a few more of the team fights. Yeah, they did look ropey on Asylum second half, but Vasgar, if they just keep snowballing these first half rounds, I don't see Harbour being any different. To be quite honest with you, the initials are kind of good, to be honest, for EXES, and I think they're on fire at the moment. I think they win.
Yep. Well, let's see. There could be 2 weeks in a row for them, or is it going to be highly rated? Bouncing back just before the finals. I think it would be nice to see a highly rated bounce back at the same time, just to sort of tee us up. But I think whatever happens, we're going to have a very good grand final, potentially between these two, or between anybody at this point. It's hard to say which way it is going to go in those finals. It's hard to say which way it's going to go in this game specifically as well. But the final map of the General Open Series, the weekly tournaments, is upon us. And, well, here we go. 10 weeks, not leading to this. Obviously, every single time is sort of, being the same. And we have thoroughly enjoyed them. And thank you to everybody who's been hanging out in the chat every single week. And thank you to everybody who's been entering. Of course, you are rewarded with the finals at the end as well, which we're very, very excited for. But heading into Harbour, last time for the normal season, I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with EXES as well. I think they're going to take this one as we head over to Harbour. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to take this final map of the weekly tournaments. It's been an absolute blast. And let's get into Harbour then and see who's going to be the final champion of Europe, although only for a week, let's be honest. But into it we go. The fight up top here through going to be important all the way through Harbour.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, this fight is huge. I mean, so is the Winch fight, but Stern can really dictate it, and it looks like Dragons is going to have Painter's number here. His team have done a number on Winch as well, and this is quick. This is real quick. This could be this could be over very, very shortly, and I'm pretty sure they've updated these invincibility windows here that you can't get into the ring unhindered anymore, invincible anymore, so you can really shut it down. And luckily, this time around, EXES come back and they've managed to get their home hill back under control, but that was a really strong opener from highly rated, and across the board, they won the fights. It's just unfortunate they couldn't get to that home hill just quite quick enough.
Right over towards B. Pains with a big down. He's not going to be able to finish this quite as early as he would like to. Dragons will find one with the trades left, right, and center. It is going to be Crimsons and EXES who come out on top of this one, and not just of that one. Good play by Crisis to find Slaps as well. Can he find the snapshot over the top on the Marsh? Not quite, and Crisis will go down. Well played by Marsh, but it is EXES in control here. A and B in their command.
Yeah, this is a good position for them. You can see that they're kind of set up. They have to worry a little bit about this winch control from highly rated, but ultimately they can defend from this position if they can get themselves underneath where Marsh is sat. You can see there's Cougar's there in a good spot. He's going to go down. You can get hit on that mid box, and it doesn't really matter where you sit on it. There is an angle to be found. Highly rated, doing a good job here of just defending. That's all they need to do. Just get that wing condition back, and you can see actually the push starting to be made here. Dragon's going to be the one forcing out, but he gets flashed out, and that should be a kill coming through from EXES if Crisis can just find a little bit more damage. Could be careful not to get back aid or paid or any other kind of aid, but just do it pretty quickly there. See the kills coming through here from EXES Esports. Marsh is dead as well. Cougars potentially next on the list. Blank coming through as well. This is bad times if you're highly rated, to be honest with you. They look strong at the start, but EXES, they've come right on back.
See if we can lock this in, though. And be in their favor. It's a hard push for highly rated here. Cougars maybe needs to try and find something, but you've got to get in. It's so difficult to retake here. Dragons will fall as well. Or in a miracle from Marsh. That is going to be the first round and first blood over towards EXES Esports. 1-0 on Harbour. Highly rated have to fight back from behind again. And to be fair, you know, I said map number 1 very, very close. A really, really big clutch out of slaps to get highly rated the win. Since then, it's been kind of all EXES, isn't it?
It really has. It really has. EXES just dominant on that retake, to be honest. Once they got a couple of kills, they had full control. And highly rated just could not claw it back whatsoever.
It's round number 2. Haven't seen anything crazy in the middle between these two yet. Nothing daft. Just very standard, linear, mirrored matchups in terms of the weapon picks. Cougars now can't make this right-hand side advantage count, but Cougars maybe a bit of a rubby spot, and there we go. It makes it count that time round, and it's a good start to the round for EXES. They get complete control of top mid. Which way is this fight over towards B going to go? It's going to go in EXES's direction as well. This is a good opportunity for them to go 2-0 after the first 2 rounds. Push over towards A. It's going to start coming through, and everybody flooding over. EXES finding the kills where they can. Dragons is the last one, but Cougars is here for company as well, but he's going to be beat down. That should be a domination. It will be a domination. It's a very, very quick round for EXES Esports. 2-0 through. It's a big round, you feel?
Very big round indeed. 48 seconds on the clock, and yeah, not a second spared, to be honest. They speed ran that round. Speed run, something like that. But they look real good while doing it as well. Super quick. Retro's going to go down. That's not going to really change things up all that different, but something at the stern might. You can see Cougars here. He's going to place that drop shot. He is going to pop that one down straight away, and highly rated. They are banking on being able to win this stern fight. It's going to be interesting to see what they do on that mini-map, see how many numbers they kind of put up there. It looks like it's going to be all 4, by the looks of things. 4 people charging down. They're going to have 1 taking the long route up towards the top side here, and it's all about this boat fight now. Bouncers opening up. Kill on Cougars. Dragons is going to go down, and this might have backfired as quickly as it was placed. It has indeed. Look at that. EXES Esports cleaning house.
Perfect
a straight
start.
Sweep.
Perfect start for them, and they're onto it again. These ticking in. Haynes is at the front line. Domination in. This is dominant from EXES Esports. That's 2 rounds within the space of 1 minute and 10 seconds or so. 3-0. 2 rounds away from 2 weeks in a row that they're top of the pile here in Europe. And they really are making a charge towards the business end of the season. This time around, though, EXES are going to be the ones, once again, with the advantage when it comes towards the push towards Stern. They will have that incend available. We will probably see it from the side of highly rated the next round, but, I mean, they could be 4-0 down at that point through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've placed that weapon knowing that they're going to be at a disadvantage, and that previous round was the one they really needed to win because, as you said, disadvantage this round. The incend is going to get picked up. It does mean that EXES slightly slower to the party, but not by much, and you can see Crisis running up with it now. Flame in hand is going to switch out and manages to get that headshot. It is Pains indeed that gets that. Going to slide through the fire, doesn't even care. Dragon's in a rough spot, will go down. Slaps will follow him shortly, I'm sure, as look at all the kills coming through. EXES once again. All the kills, a drop shot in hand. They are looking fantastic.
It was usually highly rated that we said are the kings of these initials, but ever since EXES Esports got a hold of Crimson's, everything just seems to have slotted into place for them so nicely. Pains has obviously always been a big factor. Since Crimson's has come into this roster, they have looked untouchable at times. It's just that little bit of experience to steady the ship. Drop shot through is not necessarily as accurate as it was like, and well, he sends out a second one very quickly afterwards and will deal with Cougars. Slap's now making the push here as well, but Pains will be confident with the advantage here. Big fight here potentially though. Crisis could do with winning it. Nicely done, straight towards Marsh. And A is the only thing that highly rated have had a hold of for the majority of this round and for the majority of the game. EXES Esports have been dominating them in the middle of the map.
They really have, and I love what this means for for the EGL finals. To be honest with you as well, Chris, that we're potentially getting some new, I say LAN winners, not necessarily LAN, but you know what I mean, big tournament winners here. In the likes of Bouncers, in the likes of Crisis, who, you know what, 10 weeks ago you probably wouldn't have pipped them with a chance at winning, but right now they absolutely do look like 2 of the 4 that will at least win this week, if not the whole finals, which will be very interesting just to see what players have got to say about that one. Cougar's going to fall as well.
Saying that though, I'm ready to switch this round. Oh, it's still a swarm win condition for it.
Yeah, it is, and you got to look at this top fight as well. That next drop shot's going to come up. Slaps, big shot down there.
Again.
Crimson's got himself in the pocket. It's always a good spot to be in, up back there, and there's 2 coming through from EXES. The fire is down as well, and Crimson is trying to bait Cougars. Cougars dies. Drop shot will go the way. B Hill you got to look at as well. Straight down to the winch is EXES. They got to make the play. They're going to push forward here. You can see they're on the A Hill. Dragons will fall as well. The B Hill is going to go the way of EXES, and this should be 4-0. This should be 4-0 if the script falls as it should.
EXES very much in complete control here. Crimson's just backing up to his home hill. No, they have to keep a hold of that. I mean, highly rated just don't have the time. They do not have the time to get across to see. That is the round. That is 4 in a row. From what we've seen in this grand final so far, we were expecting maybe a closer affair here, but I mean, come on, you know that. Oh, okay. Okay, so we are going to be waiting as we head in to this next round. Although, I don't know if it's going to make that much of a difference for...
No, I mean, it's a last-ditch attempt, isn't it, to break a little bit momentum, I think. I mean, it says Cougars is just resetting his game. Potentially, potentially it's a momentum breaker. Potentially it's a technical issue. Who knows? But either way, we're going to have a little bit of a pause here. The teams are probably going to just try and decap the hills and go back to their spawns and give it a second until we can get that player reconnected. But, I mean, let's take stock of what's happened here so far. 4-0 up, EXES Esports. They won the 2 initials pretty straightforward, to be quite honest with you, the first 2 rounds. The second 2 rounds... the drop shot gets placed by highly rated, and EXES, they look just as good. They're fighting up at the top. They were winning that fight. They had that incend advantage. It's just really strong play from EXES.
Well, one team's going to have a 1-point advantage, so I hope it doesn't come down to that towards the end of the game. It will be EXES with the very slight advantage whilst we wait on the players getting back in. So we are just waiting on Cougars getting himself back in. Everybody back to this one. So look how uniform the Gears players do this. Love to see it. So everything decapped, so no points are just ticking up. We don't have just a very quick round to end things, of course. Oh, they're trying to get it back for that one, but actually it's impossible to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's not going to work. I think they're waiting for the EXES player to stand next to it so they can start to cap it a second ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Cougars is back in the game now.
Yeah. They're just trying to get this back to kind of even.
There we go.
I mean, it's close enough, isn't it? I mean...
Oh, so they're capping before they start. Okay, it's close enough.
It is close enough.
All right.
Unless it comes down to half a second, and at which point you're going to question whether or not highly rated should have won the round, but we'll see how it plays out. I don't think it's going to get to that point. I don't want to start controversy before it even happens. The teams are going to kick it off, potentially the last round of the EGL Open Series here, Chris, as we get into it. EXES Esports 4-0 up, third map here. Oh, first kill is going to go their way as well. Bouncers, great up A coming through there. Big scrap up top. EXES Esports, drop shot in hand. There should be a couple of kills coming through as well if they can just connect these drop shots. One has missed. Pains as well getting pressured. Marsh is going to go down as well, and saving grace is Crimson's Lancer.
Cougars continuing to make this push through to try and find something. It's just a down. That's momentarily everybody dead. It's just Slaps who's left to defend his home. Has to back on down. There's a drop shot with this push as well. EXES in the ascendancy here. Last week was theirs. The domination ticking here as well. It's going to lock in. That is a flawless game from EXES Esports. 5-0 on Harbour. And they will be the champions of the very final weekly tournament here for the EGL Open Series. Fantastic from EXES, and they really have thrown their name in the hat, and they are the ones to beat when it heads into the finals next week. Fantastic performance.
Really was a fantastic performance. They look so strong, and that's exactly what you want. The last map, you know, going into the finals, 5-0 over your biggest rival that you'll have in the whole competition, really. It's a way to cement it, isn't it, as that number one seed. I don't know if they'll actually claim the number one seed after all of those victories that highly rated had, but you got to think not on paper, but in your minds, EXES definitely looking the best.
Yeah, they do look really, really good. Let's have a look at the story of how they found themselves in those grand finals once again. And with the win once again, it was kicking things off in the round of 16, at least against Kings always, and then 0 cells in the quarterfinal. Champs OD was, and maybe an interesting one, in that semi-final, but a 2-0 win coming out for EXES Esports. It was a very, very good series from them. And then once again against highly rated in the grand final. 2-1 in the end, but the maps that they won were dominant. A very, very close round number 9 for highly rated to take away that first map, but EXES Esports will be very happy with that win number 2 over highly rated 2 weeks in a row to close out week number 10 through. It's been quite the journey to get to this point. Finals coming up this weekend. And I don't think any of us would have expected necessarily anybody else apart from highly rated looking to be the favorites.
Yeah, me neither. You know, if you'd asked me 3 weeks ago who'd I thought would be going in as my favorite team to win the finals, it absolutely would be them. It would be highly rated. But EXES looked real good. Crimson's has come in, obviously, and changed a lot there. And I think, as you said earlier, he has just added a little bit of experience to that roster that perhaps Marco couldn't have brought. And he looks real good. Crimson's, he's slotted in fine. He's playing well. He's obviously hitting shots, and he's doing what he did for all his previous teams, and that's stay alive and get tons and tons of assists, be a nuisance, get kills, and just be an all-round very, very good player. So, yeah, awesome to see Crimson's performing. Awesome to see EXES back in the gears scene as well. EXES, they've been around since 2008, I think it is, as an org. So they're a long-time supporter of the gears scene, so good to see them picking up a team ahead of the finals. Likewise, highly rated. Good to see another org in the game and supporting a European team.
Well, a European king will be crowned next week. Of course, you know, throughout all of these 10 Open Series weeks, we have been crowning somebody at the very end of it every single time. But the daddy is this next week, isn't it? It's the finals. That's what everybody's sort of leaning towards. That's what you've been building this EGL RP for every single week, to get yourself a good seed, to have a shot at $2,500 on the line in Europe, and of course in South America as well. We're so excited for it. It will not be the same time and same place as I would usually say every single week. It will, of course, be kicking off on Saturday. Make sure you do get yourself signed up. Look at our socials if you do need any help heading in that direction, of course. But Fruit, once again, thank you very much for joining myself. And you will be joining me next week as well after your little playtime on Saturday. A couple of rounds, maybe three if you're lucky.
Maybe
a couple of games in. Anyway, we'll see how it goes for you. Good luck, of course, on the Saturday. But you'll be joining us on the Sunday when the broadcast will be kicking off. More information to come on that through the week. But until then, enjoy the rest of your week. The finals coming up next. We'll see you then.